is closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hanson and I'm joined by the Tuxer, Dave Tuckman. Looks like we're a little off center here.
A little bit.
There we go.
There we go. How's that?
Move over.
Okay.
All right, so Dave, tonight, it's Monday night and we are doing a special night here at Live at the Bike.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing a series of heads-up matches. Now, basically, this is going to consist of 2 5-player teams, and we're going to get into detail about it, but to give you a basic overview, 2 5-player teams, each person from one of the teams is going to play one match against somebody from the other team.
Exactly.
And then basically at the end of our 5 individual matches, we're going to have like our grand finale match, which is going to consist of both teams against each other, with just one player playing for each team, the team leader against the other team leader.
Right, but the other players actually can chime in.
It's kind of like a Family Feud style thing.
Very much so.
Where everyone's going to be able to give advice and such stuff like that to your players.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually really excited. I mean, this is heads up, no limit hold'em, tournament style. We have escalating blinds, so the action's going to be fast. It's going to be intense.
Yep.
And, we have teams, so they're going to be rooting for each other. And even if you lose on your first hand, if the rest of your teammates pull you through, you can still make money.
Again, it is 5 individual heads-up matches.
And then one finals heads match.
The final match is the one that actually determines the money. I mean, you could have 4 of your team members winning 5 of the matches. But then if your individual team loses the finals,
then
you lose.
You're crap out of you're out of luck.
The advantage is basically the way that it works is each player starting with $1,000. Okay? The blinds are going to start at 5-10, and they're going to move up every 2 hands for a total of 16 hands. Whoever has the most money in their individual match after 16 hands wins that match. It doesn't matter if you've busted the guy out on the first hand or if you win by $5 after the 16th hand. Whoever has the most money wins that match, and they get all of the other person's money.
Right, exactly. So what you're saying is, so basically at the end of it all, at the end of the 5 matches, if team, and by the way, the team names right now, it's pretty exciting. Team names, we've got the red team, which is Mo Nuts.
Right.
And that's Mo's team.
Yeah.
And then we've got Team Action, which is dressed in black.
Yeah.
And that is Corporation Mike, among other players. And
so I think what you were going to say was that if you say Mo's team wins 3 matches and Team Action wins 2 matches, Mo's team will be going into the finals with 6,000, and Team Action will have 4,000.
Now, if all 5 teams, now let's say, for example, Mo Nuts happens to sweep them and win all 5, well, then there won't be a final match because they're up 10,000 to nothing.
Right. If they win 4, they'll start with 8,000, and then Team Action will start with 2,000.
Exactly.
So obviously there's an advantage for you to win your individual matches because it's going to start you in the grand finale match with the most money.
I mean, in the end, the exciting thing about this is how often do you, I mean, you never get to see, we're talking heads up, no limit hold'em, live.
Right.
Unedited, unscripted.
Right.
I mean, this is, I've been waiting and dying to see this for a couple of months.
And, of course, because the prize pool is $10,000, you're going to divvy that up amongst the team. The team leader who plays in the final match, Dave, is determined by whoever wins the most amount of money in an individual match.
Or the quickest.
So basically,
if 2 players win, obviously it's the quickest.
Now, there's a chance that they're going to see a tie because let's say you and I are on the same team. We both break our opponents.
On the first hand.
So we both are, well, let's say we're not on the first hand, but let's say we both break our opponents. So we've won $2,000. Now, the tie, we determine who's the team leader by who won it quicker.
Right.
If I won it in hand 2 and you won it in hand 4, I'm the team leader.
Right, exactly.
So that's,
and in the total winnings, the team leader will get more money. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Right.
When we get to details of it all.
Yeah. So I believe that we're going to go.
Yeah. Let's introduce these teams. Yep. I am so psyched. Cool. We got on the left side of the table there's seat 1, and that is Leo, and he's part of Team Action. And seat 2, we've got Francisco, and he is He is also part of Team Action. Then we've got seat 3, we've got Ali Yazdi. Actually, I'm sorry. In seat 3, we've got Avo, actually.
Yeah.
And he's also Team Action. Then we've got Ali in seat 4. Once again, Team Action. And 5 is going to be Corporation Mike, who's not here, but he's putting his... Oh, there it is.
Yep.
And they actually have Team Action written on the back of their jerseys. You can see their shirts there. And then we've got in seat 6, we're going to have, I believe, I want to say, there's Joe, Action Joe Wynn. And he is part of Mo Nuts. And there's Ed. I'm sorry, that's actually seat 6 is Ed. And he's part of Mo Nuts. Then we got Action Joe Wynn in seat 6 there.
Yeah.
Seat 7 there, we've got Brian. And he's also part of Mo Nuts. Yeah. Seat 8, we've actually got Simon. This is actually 10-handed, which is why we're screwing this up. Sorry about this, guys.
Yeah.
Seat 9, we've actually got Simon, also part of Mo Nuts, and obviously Mo, part of Mo Nuts.
Now, this little thing right here, Dave, hand 1, blinds 5 and 10. This is how we're going to keep track of the hand numbers in each match. So every time the dealer deals out the hand after the hand is completed, she'll flip that little binder, and it will go to hand 2, which is blinds 5 and 10. Then it'll go to hand 3, which is blind 10 and 20.
Exactly.
Again, 16 hands per match until the grand finale, and the grand finale will work a little bit differently, and depending on the time, we'll get to that when it comes. And tonight's show might go under or over. We're not really strictly going to go to 6 to 9.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
We're going to have a good time with it, though. And there it is. Look at that jersey there, Mo Nuts.
And the idea of this, too, Dave, is if this goes well, Mo Nuts, or whoever the winner of this match is going to want to challenge other people that might want to come down here. You can get your own 5-person team come down here.
Exactly. If you think you're up to it, get your own 5 players together, come on down here and challenge one of these teams. Well, and there's the back of the jersey of Team Action. Check that out.
Yep.
Jerseys were made. And the first matchup is actually going to be Leo from Team Action versus Ed Shanazanazarian.
Okay. Now, I think that
of Mo's Nuts.
Yeah, they randomly cut cards to determine who they were going to play.
Exactly.
So match number 1 is Leo against Ed. And I believe that all the tables, I guess, are the players all going to sit there at the table?
They are. They're going to root them on. They're going to cheer them on here. But it's Leo versus Ed, and it's seat 1 versus seat 4, and that's it.
Here we go, heads up. Each player starts with $1,000. It's 5-10 blinds right here on this hand.
Exactly. Hand number 1, folks.
Hand number 1 between Ed and Leo.
And we'll get the cards up there for you in a second.
There we go.
We get 7-4 for Ed, a real hand for Leo. He's got ace-5. And Leo takes it down. He raises it up to 200 and takes it down.
Yep.
Come on, Ed. Do something, man.
So again, now we're to hand 2, and the blinds are 5 and 10.
Now, early on, it doesn't really mean as much. You can kind of say, okay, well, go ahead and take my blind. But right away, Leo takes a little bit of a small advantage here.
Right. Now, you can email us at liveatthebike.com, questions, comments, suggestions. You can also follow us on a live thread on 2plus2.com, as Ed is going to raise here from the button with ace-7, and he's going to take it down.
And Ed takes it down. And we are tied right now. After 2 hands, 1 hand each,
Yep.
and the blinds jump up to 10-20. This is hand number 3, folks.
Dave, if you go to 2plus2.com, in the forum section, we're over in heads up and shorthanded poker section tonight.
Wow, excited. We're all over the place there.
Have math on 2+2.
And this is it. This is Leo versus Ed.
Yep.
Match number 1, Team Action versus Mo Nuts.
This is hand 3, and it's 10-20 blinds now, Dave.
Yes.
Now, we saw Ed. He limped in here. And Leo's going to raise it up with ace-queen. Ed had limped in with jack-8 offsuit, and he folds. And Leo's going to take it down. And again, the lines are 10 and 20 now.
And a couple of big hands. I mean, 3 hands into this, one player has an ace, and each one of them.
Right. Ace-queen there is pretty big heads
and
up.
The blinds are 10-20 here.
Yeah. Now, Ed's got 7-9 of spades, and Leo's got 5-3 offsuit. Now, remember, Dave, heads up, the button actually acts first in the first round.
And he threw it away.
Then he's in position for the remaining amount of time.
So the small blind is actually on the button, you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now, we're going to move up to 15-30 blinds now.
Right away, we're up to hand 5 already. Mm-hmm. And these are going to be real quick, guys.
Again, these are 16-hand matches, so we're almost already 1/3 through the way.
And they're tied right now.
Now, Ed's got 10-7 offsuit. Looks like he's just going to limp in.
They both have 10-7.
They both have 10-7.
Wow.
Wow.
So let's see who plays it better.
Well, Queen 3 ace here on the flop with a couple of hearts.
Ed is on the button. Let's see if he takes advantage of it.
Ed's
He does.
bet. Leo folds, and Ed takes it down.
And Ed is now up about $30. 30 chips right now.
So we're moving up to hand 6. Again, we're heads up here. Doesn't matter how much you win by after 60 hands. You just want to be the winner.
Right.
You want to be the monetary winner.
Although if you want to become your team leader, which obviously gets you more money, you
Right.
want to win by the most.
Right.
So there is
Exactly.
some impetus to do that.
Right. Blinds are 15-30 now after.
And look at this.
Ed's
Wow.
Wow, look at that. Leo limped in, Dave.
With a king.
With a king, and, well, actually, you know what? Ed raised, didn't he? 'Cause
No, Leo limped in and Ed
on
raised.
the button, yeah.
Yeah.
And he had king 8. That's not a bad hand heads up there
No.
at all. And the blinds are now 25-50, and we're on hand 7.
Right, and we can see in the far corner over there, hand number 7 with the blinds. And Ed's going to raise it on the button. And he's got a real hand here. He's got, well, not really. He's got 9-8.
Look at this, 9-8, and Leo's got pocket jack. So
Yeah.
Ed made it 125. Let's see how Leo plays it. He's going to re-raise. He's going to make it 400, Dave. Wow.
Now, you can't play this. You can't play this game meekly. You really got to be able to push around.
Yep.
Now, you don't want to fall too far behind, because if you fall too far behind, it's going to be tough to get back in this.
Right.
And that's what these guys are thinking. But Ed is going to call.
Wow.
And this pot, this pot basically becomes the whole thing. We got jacks versus 9-8.
Wow, here we go.
And Leo went all in.
all in. I think Ed might have re-raised. Or Leo's going to go all in blind. He's got the jack of hearts. Now, Ed's got a gut shot, but he has no hearts. He's got 8-9 offsuit. Leo's gone all in blind here.
And this pot is about $800.
Ed has some money left. I think he really needs to cut his losses right now, Dave. Oh, he's going to make the call.
He's gambling. He needs a
He
7.
needs a 7 or a running 2 pair. Well, a 3 here on the turn. And the river's a 7. It's an offsuit 7. And Ed's got the straight on the board, but he's got 8-9 for the nut straight, and he's going to take it down.
Oh, that is just brutal. That is so bad.
Wow.
And Ed wins match number 1 in classic suck-out form.
Unbelievable.
And there we go. Mo's Nuts up 2,000 to the team action, which has 0 right now.
Right.
Wow. Well, now we can, as they set up the next match, we can go into more of the particulars of this
right.
match.
Right.
Now, whoever wins, now Ed happened to win that, I want to say, on hand number 7.
Yep.
Right? So Ed won on hand number 7. Now, since Ed won on hand number 7, for him not to be the leader of Mo Nuts, somebody else would have to knock out their opponent earlier than hand number 7.
Right.
So,
right.
Really interesting.
Now, again, going over the center of this. So now Ed's team, which is Mo's Nuts, now is up $2,000.
Right.
And they've won the first match. And again, we're going to get into the second heads-up match coming up here. Again, we are playing 5 individual heads-up matches. And then at the end of the show, we are playing our grand finale match. We'll determine the team winner.
Right.
16 hands per heads-up match. The blinds move up every 2 hands. And, Dave, the team leader, or the person that wins the most in the shortest amount of time, will play the final match for the team. Now, possibly some people might say, unfortunately for Mo, boy, Ed might be the team leader for Mo's team at
Right,
the
but
end.
you have to understand this, though. The other players will have an input. It's kind of like Family Feud,
That's
where the
right.
leader just kind of makes the decision in the end. And it is his decision,
Right.
but the other players can tell him what to do.
Right, right.
But Ed wins it on hand number 7.
Right.
Now, this is kind of like, these first 5 matches are kind of interesting because it's almost like an NBA regular season where they don't really mean that much.
Right, right.
It's kind of just positioning for the real match.
Yep.
But it is real interesting to watch heads-up, no-limit tournament play.
Right.
And now the second match we're going to have is Simon versus Ali. Now, Simon is representing, there's Simon. Simon is representing Mo's Nuts, and Ali will be representing Team Action. And we have the first hand, which is right back to 5-10 blinds. Now, Ali is a pretty...
At the end of 16 hands, you should have both even.
So heads up here, Ali against Simon. And we're already at hand 2 here. Again, these guys need to slow down a little bit, Dave.
Yeah, that was just a quick fold by Ali.
Yeah.
Simon took it down.
Yeah. Now, Ali's got deuce 3 offsuit on the button. He's going to complete, and Ali is going to, Simon's going to check with 5, 6
and it's
of clubs.
we got a flop here.
Jack.
And Simon's outflopped him there. He's got a pair. And a pair heads up is pretty good hands.
And actually, you know what, Dave? We have Ali in seat 4, but he's in seat 1. This is what's a little bit confusing.
Right, there we go.
The river's a 9. And Simon has made a bet here on the river with 5-6, and Ali mucks in seat 1 with deuce 3.
Well, you know what? I mean, Ali let him take it away from you. If you flop a pair and heads up poker, you got to take advantage. And I was going to say, Ali's a little bit more passive than Simon. Simon's a pretty aggressive player, and it might give Simon an advantage, especially in heads-up play.
Any pair in heads-up plays.
And we're going to have these players try to slow down just a little bit, just for the benefit of the show. Simon has the button.
Yep, so Simon's going to show us his cards. He's got an ace there, Dave. That's big. Ace 8 offsuit on the button. And it looks like, did he just complete or did he raise? It looks like he raised.
He raised, and Ali throws it away.
Yep.
And Simon has won the first 3 hands of the thing.
Yep.
And not for a lot of money. I mean, he's only up maybe, I want to say maybe $30.
Right.
This is hand number 4. Can you believe Ed there? Man, what a gambler, huh? What a gambler. He calls with a gut shot. And he's only got basically 3 outs because it can't even be the 7 of hearts. Now, ace 4 for Simon.
In seat 4. And Ali, again, he needs to show us his cards because he just folded.
And Ali only, I believe he only had 6 high, actually, and threw it away.
So Simon's going to have the button here. We're on hand number 4. The button is going to be here. And the blinds are 15 and 30, and we're on hand 5. Simon's got deuce 8 suited on the button. He limped, and Ali's going to check it with 8-7, and here we go to the flop. Well, Jack, deuce 5, all diamonds. Let's see if Simon can fire here. He's got a pair of deuces. No, he's going to check behind him. The turns of 4. Simon is still good here. And he checks again. The river is a jack, and Ali checks, and Simon checks behind him, and he's going to take it down with a pair of deuces. Again, you wonder how much experience some of these guys have in heads-up play, because these guys seem to be playing, single pairs pretty passively. As we can see over there on the right, hand 6, 15-30. Red to... And the button's going to move over here to seat 1. Ali's got deuce 4 off suit. And it looks like he's folded.
And we're at hand 7. Has Ali won a hand yet?
I don't think so.
I mean, the only thing is fortunate is the blinds weren't that big, but he's probably down about $100 already.
Right.
Now look, there it is. Hand number 7, blinds are $25.50.
Yep.
And the button is on Simon in seat 4.
Yep.
So he's in there for $25. Small blind is always on the button, heads up.
Yep.
And Ali, oh wow, look at Ali's got kings.
Kings there in seat 1.
And Simon's got queen 7.
He raised it up. Ali raised it up. It looked like maybe he made it 100. And Simon called with queen 7 here.
So we got a $200 pot here.
Here we go to the flop. Well, Simon's hit a piece of this, ace, deuce 7, but the raise pre-flop might save him. But it
went
check.
Yeah.
I mean, some people would think if you're Ali, he's trying to trap the guy. Ali just checked again with pocket kings.
Wow, and this is heads up, folks.
Unbelievable. And the river's a 10. He checked pocket kings the whole way.
Yeah. And Simon smartly did not take a shot at it. He said, you know what, I got a pair of 7s, I got second pair.
Yeah.
If this guy has king queen or king jack, I've got him beat. You know, and he did. I don't need to try to.
Well, again, Dave, you wonder how much heads up experience these guys have. It doesn't seem like a lot.
Right. Well, I mean, how much heads up experience does most people have?
Right. So we've moved up to hand 8. The blinds are 25 and 50. Again, Mo's Nuts is leading in the matches 1-0. They're at $2,000.
Now this one's already gone longer than the first match went.
Yep.
Wow, aces
Pocket
for Simon.
Aces for Simon in C4.
How do you do that?
Now Ali's got Queen 4. He's on the button, and Simon's going to raise. He's going to make it 100, and Ali folds.
Well, Ali just folds every hand almost, huh?
Again, I mean, you've really got to adjust your play to heads up. Again, so even Simon, Dave, I know you stepped out of the room for a second. He had flopped the pair and checked it down the whole way, too. And that's usually, not normal Simon, but it's much, much different to play heads up, obviously.
Now, the blinds jumped up here already, and I want to say that it's hand 9 now, and the blinds are 50-75.
Yep.
And we're at hand number 9.
Now,
and he's going to raise it up with
King 6 suited. Why not? And Ali's going to call with
just
King
smooth
Queen.
call.
Just smooth call. Again, we're heads up.
Now, a king comes out, this could be trouble.
Well, deuce 4-5. Let's see if Simon can fire in here. He's got the straight draw. Got shot straight draw. He's going to bet.
Now, Ali can't just check and fold, can he?
Look at that. Wow. Again,
Wow.
we are heads up here,
Yeah, I mean,
folks.
I really respect Ali's play when he's playing in a full ring game, but
Right.
if he's playing like this, there's no way he's going to win a heads-up match.
Right.
And Simon, I want to say even losing that one hand where Ali had the kings,
Right.
Simon's got to still be up by about $100.
Yep. So here we go to hand 10, $15.75
Or more.
blinds.
And the blinds will go up to 5,100 next hand.
So the action, the button, I believe Ali has the button here. 7-9 off suit.
Oh, I think he's raising it up here.
Yeah, he's going to raise. He's going to make it 250.
Well, he's got the best hand. I mean, so I'm just going to throw it away. That's okay. And this is what was going to happen, folks. You can't just Simon can't just sit on his lead here because the blinds are moving up. The blinds are already up to 5,100 now.
Right. So again, I'm sure that these players, towards the end of the match, Dave, are going to want to know exactly what each other has in terms of the amount of
course.
chips. Because it's just the winner. It doesn't matter how much you win by. It's kind of like the Electoral College in American politics. Winner take all.
Wow, Ali's going to call here with Queen 3 of spades. Now it's going to happen. The pot's $400.
Simon raised with 10-7. He's hit a pair.
Well, his hand is good here. He's got to know.
And he's going to bet it.
He bets it. And he was actually moving all in there, and he takes it away, and I think Simon is up a good $300 now.
Yep. Hand number 12 now. Blinds are moving up to 75-100.
75-100. It's an odd structure.
Well, that's what I heard in my...
Yeah, I guess it's going up one every couple of hands there.
Yeah, every 2 hands. Now, King Deuce over there for Ali in seat 1 on the button.
That's definitely above average hand.
And he just calls, and Simon's going to check.
Give Simon a chance here to steal it from him.
3-3-10 here on the flop. He goes check, check. Turn is an 8.
Wow, if you're Simon here, you take a shot at it? No, 9 high can't probably win. No, and he's going to take...
And look at this, Ali folds.
I mean, if Ali's just sitting there waiting for a hand, I mean, team action. How about team no action?
Right. Hand 13 now. I know we're at blinds at 1 and 2. So again, you can't just necessarily, with this structure, take an early lead and sit back because the blinds will eat you.
You definitely can't. But at this point, I believe Simon is up probably close to $400.
Yeah.
And if he wins this hand, he might have clinched it.
Ali's got ace queen.
Oh, wow. And Simon's got 10s.
And Simon has got 10-8 off suit.
And they're going to go all in here.
Wow.
Oh, 8-10. I thought it was 10s.
Well, how did Ali... I got word that Ali raised, but he's not first to act, though.
No, but actually Simon did raise on the button trying to steal it.
I see.
And I thought he had pocket 10s, but he actually has 8-10, and he's in bad shape.
Okay, so Simon raised and Ali re-raised. And now Simon's going to try to figure out how much more is it to call.
Well, you can look at that. He's got about, $600 there.
Yeah. Well, if there's a lot of dead money in the pot already, he's not going to play. I mean, could you call with 2 live cards?
I don't think you want to there in that case because you're looking at it going, you know what? It still puts him in the lead.
That's right.
I still think Simon's up 1,200 to 800 here.
Yeah. Now the blinds are moving up to 100, 200, and we're on hand number
14. I mean,
14.
there's only 3 hands left,
Yeah,
folks.
so that's kind of like a strategic thing that Simon did.
Totally, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to look at it and go, if I lose this hand,
Yeah.
I could be down by a couple $100. And this
So again,
way
we got 3 hands left. Ace King here, and King 8 for Ali. Ali's going to move all in, and Simon's going to call with Ace King.
Yeah, now he's in bad shape. He's got 3 outs here, and he's at 8.
So here we go. Heart.
And
Simon's got the ace of hearts.
Yeah, and now you need an 8 that's not a heart.
Yeah, or some sort of running straight combination. See, it turns to 6, so he can catch a 5 now that's not a heart. And the river's a 7.
And Simon wins it. Simon wins it on hand 14.
Yep. And Dave, I have a feeling that this is going to go a little bit quick.
Yeah, well, it might go quick.
After 5.
I say me and you, maybe you and I will go out there and challenge Mo Nuts after they win.
Well, they're up now, $4,000. They're up 2-0.
2-0. Now, I doubt it'll go the way where all five players on Mo Nuts will win. But if they do, there is no final match.
Yep.
And there we go. And just for you guys wondering here, that's Francisco in seat 1. And he's on team action. He's going to be going against Mo here, obviously representing Mo Nuts. Our other matchups of the night are going to be Avo versus Action Joe Win. And then we've got Corporation Mike versus Brian Lee.
Wow, that's going to be, those are some pretty
good really.
Matches.
Brian Lee has a lot of experience playing heads up.
Yep. So here we go. Old Live at the Bike favorite, Francisco.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about heads up? A lot of players that get into a tournament situation, they go, man, by the time I get to a final table, I know how to play that, but when I get heads up, I have no experience playing it. Well, this is great to be able to watch it.
So here we go. Hand 1, blinds are 5 and 10. We're playing No Limit Hold'em, series of heads-up matches tonight. Mo's team leads 2-0, 4,000-0.
And some people could say, well, this is all luck, but I don't think so. I mean, I think Simon badly outplayed Ali on that match.
Now, Francisco raised here with Ace-4, pretty good hands up. Made it 35 to go, and Mo called with Queen-9. And look at this. Mo's flop trips. Mo's checked it from up front. Francisco's going to bet.
Now, heads up, sometimes you get into trouble with heads up because just because a guy calls you in a full ring game, if a guy smooth calls you, you go, oh, come on, what could he have? But heads up, I mean, Mo could be calling him with anything, an ace high.
Right. Absolutely. Now, it's a $75 bet
Look
here.
at Mo milking it, though.
It's a $135 pot, $75 for Mo to call.
Mo's almost taking too much time with this one, though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's the first hand in the match. And he's going to make the call. He's going to make the smooth call. He is out of position.
Yeah, the pot's about 270.
Turns a 7.
Yeah, and Mo and Francisco is drawing dead.
Not dumb enough to bet again. He checks right behind Mo. And the river's a 10.
Yeah, the problem is, though, is Mo going to be able to steal this away? I mean, let's say Mo had nothing. Would Francisco fold an ace high? Ace high's not bad heads up, is it?
Especially if you've checked the turn in position, right? Like you said, inducing a bluff.
Exactly.
Mo's going to bet here.
I mean, wouldn't Mo bet if he had 2 hearts here?
He's going to bet 225. Yeah, I was going to say, kind of lucky for Francisco also that if the board had paired at the river, heads up there with ace high, man. I mean, are you going anywhere?
Almost impossible.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Hand 1, Mo takes a quick $200 lead.
Yep. So we're moving
and he's up to 1,200 in chips, and Francisco down to 800.
Yep.
But once again, you cannot sit on this lead because the blinds will continue to eat you.
Now Mo's got 7-5 suited. He's going to limp in. And Francisco just checks it from the big blind, and here we go, heads up. Look at this! 2 players have flopped the flush.
Oh, Mo is going.
Oh, Mo could go broke on this hand right away.
Well,
I mean, heads up, 2 flushes, Dave? Are you kidding me?
And Francisco is slow played. If another heart comes out, it might save Mo.
Check here on the flop. And now Francisco's going to bet. This is unbelievable stuff.
Look at that. 2 hands. Mo flops trips and flops a flush.
Francisco's going to bet 75. And again, Mo, does he want to raise here? Because obviously he could be betting in with a flush draw, Francisco. He could just have the lone ace, queen of hearts. You want to give him a free ride to the river.
Now, the only thing I'll say is Mo's got 1,200.
And Mo just calls, it looked like. And the river's an ace. Well, the board pairs is, I still think all the money's going in here, but these guys have played it ridiculously slow.
Yeah, it's funny. And heads up, people don't.
Francisco's going to
bet. He's overbetting the pot, it looks like.
Now, Mo's got to think that he probably just has an ace here. He's going to bet 475 on the river.
To be honest, you might put the guy on a king. I mean, who knows what the guy has?
475 on the river. And with the board pairing heads up, I mean, all my money's going in here, but do you think that Mo possibly would just call here? It's a 407.
If he just calls, that's a great call. But that's
no, he's going to move all in. Francisco's going to call, and this hand's going to be over on hand number 4.
No, actually, Francisco's down for 200.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. So Mo is going to have a couple more chips coming back to him.
Well, actually, Mo had about, I want to say Mo had about 1,200, 1,175.
Yeah.
And he only had about 825. So Mo actually has about 300, 350 left.
Now, you and I like to preach, Dave. I mean, it also applies to heads up as well, right? I mean, there's always, obviously there's more room to, play tricky heads up and fast playing versus slow playing things. But I'm surprised that Mo didn't put any more money in there. I mean, if a heart comes on the river, he doesn't know if he's good.
Yeah,
he also doesn't know.
Sometimes heads up, he wouldn't get a chance, though. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you really, the odds are if you flop a flush.
Yeah.
I mean, the odds are that this guy's drawing dead. You know? I mean, that's just bad luck for Mo. I can't really fault him on that one. And Mo's got about 200 left. I mean, I say 300 left.
I got so excited there, I thought Francisco had won.
Well, he's in commanding position here.
Well, Mo's got a pair, but you know what? Francisco, I thought that was a 9. It was King 10-8.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if Francisco had a 10 there, we probably would have seen all the chips go in there again as well.
Now, in any other structure, let's say we weren't escalating the blinds, Francisco could just sit on his lead, and he would definitely win.
Right.
But in this case, Francisco actually has to keep playing because the blinds will eat you.
Absolutely. So moving on in the next hand here.
Yeah. We got 10-9 suited for Francisco and 6-3 suited.
Boy, we've seen a lot of limping in here from the button from people. And this one's just going to get limped and checked. Here we go to the flop. King, Queen, 9. So Francisco has a pair.
Yeah, and Mo's in bad shape here.
Check here. You got to think that Francisco's probably going to bet here on the turn. Well, it's a jack, and now Mo's got a flush draw.
Yep.
And anyone with the 10, but Francisco has a straight.
Okay.
Francisco moves all in here.
Yeah, he's not even going to wait here. Now, is Mo going to gamble? Mo's only got about 200 left.
Yeah, with one card to come, he's not going to.
And we're at literally, Francisco got 1,800 to Mo's 200.
Right.
It's going to be really tough.
So here we go, hand 5, 15-30.
I tell you, I was really looking forward to this night just because it's a little something different.
Right.
How often do you get to see live heads up, no limit hold'em?
Well, I'm going to say, if we do this again, Dave, I think we might even have time to do, say, 30 hands heads up.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
People.
This obviously is an experimental night, kind of seeing how it works.
Yeah. Now, Francisco's going to move all in here. We can't see what he has in seat 1. Yeah, he's got ace-king suited, Dave. Big hands heads up here. And again, when these blinds escalate, you can just move all in because you're eating Mo's money up right now.
Well, that's Francisco could literally go in blind each time, and Mo's just got to make a stand. And he's just decided, live cards, I got to go for it here.
I have 2 live cards.
Yeah,
that's what it says.
So here we go. Queen, 4, queen. That's no help for Mo. 3. Mo needs a jack or a 7 that's not a club, and the river's a deuce. And
Francisco takes it down. Yeah. And that was on hand what? Hand 5. Wow.
Wow, hand 5.
Francisco wins on hand number 5. I mean, almost definitely he is going to represent team action in the finals. So right now we've got 2-1 Mo Nuts in front of team action, huh?
Right. Again, for people that are just joining us, we're doing a little bit of an experimental night tonight. We have 2 teams, 5 players per team. Each person puts up $1,000. Everyone's playing 1 match heads up against the other team, a member from the other team. The end of the night, or at the end of the matches, they will play a conclusion match, which will determine the winner. And it's basically kind of like a team match. It's basically Family Feud style. The person that wins the most money from each team will be the team leader, and they will play heads up to determine how the... Can I really butcher this explanation anymore?
No, you did it fine, actually. I mean, to be honest with you, we're doing 5 team matches, which will determine how much money these 2 teams will go into the finals with.
There you go.
Right now, Mo Nuts has 4,000, Team Action has 2,000. The final 6,000 will be decided by these last 3 matches.
Yep.
The winner of which will split up the 10,000. The leader of which getting the majority of it, the other players getting their money back plus a little bit.
Right.
And exciting third match here. We've got Avo, local professional poker player. Not sure how much experience he has in heads-up play, versus Action Joe Win.
Yep.
Now, Action Joe Win is actually playing for Mo Nuts, though.
Right.
While Avo is playing for Team Action. Now, Action Joe Wynn does have a lot of experience playing heads up limit hold'em. I wonder if how his no limit play is.
Now Joe is seat 1 on the button here. We're going to look at 5-10 blinds going into match number 3, first hand. Avo's got ace-6 suited, pretty big hand heads.
On the button, too. And Joe's got 2 diamonds. I can't tell what the other card is, though. It's a 9 of diamonds. And maybe
diamonds.
A 4? A 5.
5, 9 of diamonds.
There we go.
And Avo's going to raise.
45.
Going to make it 45 to go. Again, the blinds are 5-10 here. Escalating blinds in these matches. 16-hand matches. Okay, look at Action Joe.
And Avo, what did he do on the button?
He raised it up to 75.
Raised it up to 75,
45,
wow.
45, I believe. And Joe's going to call out of position.
Wow.
Well, sometimes you got to defend your big blind.
Yeah, but the
dude.
blinds are only 5-10 here.
Yeah. Here we go to the flop. And look at this. He's flopped a flush.
How does he do that?
And Avo's got a pair. He's got a single pair.
I got to tell you, man, it's not a bad flop if you're Avo.
Well, check here on the flop. Turns a 3.
And this pot is $150
Yeah.
to the turn. Joe's going to put some money in there, isn't he?
Again, I'm surprised that these guys aren't betting single pairs heads
Well,
up.
it's funny. I mean, once Avo, the Avo might have put himself in a little bit of trouble here because when Avo checks behind Joe in position,
Joe could be betting in here with anything, right?
wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be bluffing? Shirley Rosario is an excellent heads-up no-limit hold'em player.
Well, Joe's thinking about it. He's going to bet. He's
Wow.
going to overbet the pot. He's going to bet 300, making it look like a steal.
Well, and it's $300 into a $150 pot, and Avo's only got 1 pair.
Now, the blinds are small for this first hand. He's going to get rid of it.
Wow.
Let's see if Joe shows it.
I mean, to raise $75,
Yeah.
to win $10.
Right. It was
And then
actually,
just check behind
I think
him.
it was actually raised to 45.
45. Oh, okay, thank you.
So
Oh, wow. So
the
was it
pot
300?
was even that big. You know, it was like about a $100 pot.
Wow, that's a big overbet then. Well, Joe takes a quick lead then.
Yeah, hand 2, 5-10 blinds. And again, I think because we're going to have so much time, maybe we can extend the finale match to, you know, a lot of hands.
Well, the finale match is actually going to go. The blinds escalate actually very slowly until 8:30.
Well,
and
I know
then
maybe
8:30
we
we
can,
got to do it faster.
you know, maybe we can restructure it. I
Yeah.
think as Mo said, he wanted to make it 5-10 blinds until 8:30 and then escalate every 2 hands. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
No,
we
right.
got a ton of time.
No, we
Yeah.
talked about that and switched
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah.
Maybe we can escalate the blinds every 15 minutes or
Yeah.
so and get some action in there.
So here we go. Avo's on the button. I believe that hand before just got folded down, right?
Jack
And
5 versus Jack 2.
Avo's going to raise, it looks like a little bit with Jack 5. Joe's got Jack Deuce. He's out of position.
Now we'll get our assistants out there to remind these guys to play slowly.
And Joe just checks it. And I guess Avo did not raise. He just completed.
Now this is a $40 pot, and they both have the same gut shot. And this looks like it's going to be a chop pot unless some sort of strange card comes out. And it is going to be a chop pot.
Turns an 8. That's if it gets to showdown. I went check on the flop.
And they both have a double gutter now. A king or a 9 would bring a straight to the board. I mean, a straight for either one of these guys.
That's right. 1 card double gutter. Which can only really occur with a jack, right? 1 card double gutter.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I haven't really thought about that, but
Joe's
take your word for it.
Joe's going to bet 120 here.
And Avo's pretty much in raise or fold situation thing, isn't he here? You can't just call, can you? Looks like maybe he's going to raise.
Yeah.
This is only hand 4, folks. Actually, I take it back to hand 3.
Hey, look at that. Avo's going to fold.
And Joe takes it down
There it
with
is.
the same hand, pretty much.
So is that true what I just said? I just kind of spiraled
I
out
don't
some-
know.
Just came off the top of my head.
A one-hand...
Could you have a 1 card 3 to a double gutter?
I don't know.
Ace, deuce, 4, 5, 6. No, that would still be just a gut shot. Huh.
It might be.
Interesting.
Well, here we go. The blinds are 10, 20 in hand 4.
Yeah.
Small blind is on the button there. That's Joe, and he's in there for $10 right now.
Pocket 6 is over there, so you imagine he's probably going to raise here.
Yeah, and he's got Avo in
He's
good
just
shape
gonna
here.
limp. Just going to limp there. Maybe, you know, with the blind size is so small, these guys are deciding that they're not going to gamble it up early on.
And it's funny. I mean, they don't want to gamble it early on, but they know they're being forced to gamble later.
And actually, you know what? Joe has raised here. I'm sorry.
He announced the raise. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. Once in a while, our our microphones on the table aren't real loud, so we can't hear him say raise.
Yeah.
Once again, we are live. We're unedited, unscripted, and we're live at the bike.
You can email us at livethebike.com or follow a live thread that's started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, click on forums, heads up in short-handed poker section. Hand number 5, 1530. Again, we're in match 3 of our heads up matches. Excuse me, match 4 of our heads up matches, Dave.
We're just buzzing through these.
Yeah. Abo's going to limp in here from the button. And Joe's got queen 4 off
Abo's
suit.
playing it pretty passive as well, isn't he?
Let's see what Joe does in the big blind. He's going to check. And here we go. 7-5 against queen 4. King 4 deuce. So Joe's got second pair. The pretty high kicker. Joe checks and Abo's going to bet. Can't imagine that Joe's just going to lay this down. I think I could smell check raise here. It's a $40 bet.
Well, he's got second pair.
Yeah.
Like you said, any pair in heads up is pretty big.
Yeah.
A really good poker player, professional poker player, once told me when I was playing heads up.
And he is going to check raise, Steve.
Okay.
He's going to make it 100 more, and Abo gets out.
And Joe wins another hand.
Yeah.
He said to me, he goes, when you're playing heads up, one of the best things you can do is take the highest card that's on the flop and just make it like a deuce of clubs.
Yeah.
Make it irrelevant. And it was interesting. I heard that advice, and I was like, okay, I'll play it that way.
I think that was in some book, too. I think it
Was
was
it? Okay.
Skolansky's Limit
There you
book.
go. That's what I heard, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. And I was playing in a satellite, actually. I was heads up a satellite, and
Right.
it worked okay for me.
Just considering top card a deuce.
Yeah, just almost disregarding that top hand, that top card.
Yeah, we're over here into the next hand here. And it looks like blinds are 1530. Let's see what Joe is going to do
And
here.
Joe's got an early lead here. He's probably up by about $200, $250.
Again, Joe just limped, and Avo checked a king. King 5 in the big blind. And the flop comes 3-4-6, so Joe's got second pair again, but Avo's got a straight draw.
Yeah, he's got an overcard plus a straight draw.
And Avo's going to bet $60 into the straight draw with the overcard.
Yeah, this is one of those times where I think Avo's hand is actually a favorite. Any 7, any deuce, any king, or any 5 would actually give him a win. And obviously, Joe does have a redraw, but...
And Joe just calls here. Well, the turn's an ace, and now Avo picks up a flush draw.
Yeah, Avo's hand is just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
The problem is, can you get Joe off a pair?
And he's going to bet now. 175, and Joe's going to fold.
Avo takes it down. Nice aggressive play by Avo there. He had nothing except a really big draw.
And Dave, as far as I know, now normally Monday we try to be our limit night, but I think that we're going to change that till tomorrow, on Tuesday. And again, we don't know because I've already gotten several PMs and emails about when's the limit night, when's the limit night. Well, this is our first time doing this, and Mo wanted to do it on Monday, but normally we try to do limit on Monday. But this week it's going to be tomorrow.
And we're up to hand number 7 here. The blinds are 25-50.
Yep. And the schedule is updated on the website to reflect that.
Well, there you go. Hand number 8. It was a quick... Avo just threw his hand away there.
Yep,
and
deuce
now
8 offsuit.
Joe is now on the button.
Hand number 8, 25-50 blinds. Match number 4. And Mo's Nuts leading 4,000 to 2,000 here, or 2 matches to 1.
And this one is still very much in doubt. Joe has a small lead, but a lot of poker left to be played here, and they both have a queen.
Yep. And Joe just limps in, and again, we see a lot of limping in from the button here, heads up. Joe had queen 5, and Avo checked to queen 8. King 4 deuce. Let's see what happens here. Avo checks. Joe checks. Turns a jack. Avo checks again.
And heads up, no limit. I mean, isn't this game... You forget about the books. I mean, this is a game of psychology, you know?
Yeah.
Reading players.
It's a little like Rochambeau, huh? Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I mean, in a similar way, I guess. But this is much more of a chess match than, say...
And Joe's just going to bet 50. He got checked to him twice, and he's going to take it down.
And that's pretty passive by Avo. I mean, what does Avo only get a bet if he has a draw or a pair?
Right. Hand number 9. Blinds are 50-75. Again, we play 16 hands per match here.
And we haven't gotten to hand 16 yet.
Nope.
No, very sick.
We thought maybe it wouldn't get to 16, but hey.
We thought that, that's why we said whoever has the most money will win.
Right.
Because we didn't necessarily think that people were going to get knocked out. But the other thing, though, too, is once it gets up to that level, those blinds are really big. So.
Yeah. And Alpha's going to raise it up, I think, if King 4.
Yep. From the button, he's going to make it 225.
And Joe's only in there for $75. Is he going to call with 6-3 offsuit?
Not really a great hand. Heads up, out of position.
I don't know. I don't know what game I like that hand. 6-3 offsuit. I mean, it's a decent first 2 cards and like deuce to 7 triple draw.
Although you're not a really big fan of the 6 in that game, right?
No, I'm not a huge fan, but I'll take it. It's better than King 4. And Joe's going
to fold it.
Once again, we are live at the bike, folks. We're playing a heads-up, no-limit hold'em tournament. It's team versus team. And we've got standing room only. Everybody's watching. It's really exciting here. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen.
50-75. Button's going to move over to Joe there. And this is hand number 10. And again, Joe has a slight lead over Avo, right, Dave?
Yeah, he's up by about 250 right now.
Now Joe's got deuce 3 offsuit on the button here.
But Avo doesn't have much either. He's got 7-3 of diamonds. If Joe's aggressive, he might be able to take this one away.
And he's going to raise it. He is going to raise. He's going to make it 250.
And Joe takes it away with the worst hand again.
Yeah.
And you just cannot play. You cannot play heads up hold'em passively, can you?
No.
Not to be successful. And we're up to hand 11 now.
The only problem, though, is that the blinds become so big in this towards the end that if Avo were to make a move, he'd be committing himself with that hand if Joe called.
Right. The problem is now is that Joe's put himself in a spot where he's almost $300 ahead of Avo.
Right. Now, King 8 suited here for Avo. That might be good enough for him to push on the button.
Yeah, but Joe's only got 5 deuce.
Well, I believe Avo's the button, right, in seat 1? So he's first to act here.
And the King 8's one of those hands, I don't know if it's quite good enough to slow play. No, he's going to raise it up.
He's going to raise it. Well, if he's only down by a couple $100, why not raise, Dave? Because that $100 is going to be valuable there. And he's
definitely. There you go. Now he's only down by 100.
Right. Hand number 12 here.
And this is a battle here. These guys are fighting it out.
Yep. 75 $100 blinds here. Hand number 12.
And here we go, hand 12, huh?
Joe's got deuce 4 suited, and Avo's got deuce 5. So again, this is, like you said, not really about the cards. It's just a chess match because these guys really aren't picking up big hands.
This is pure psychology. I mean, let's be honest. How many times has a hand been like shown down?
Now Joe just limps, and Avo limps. And Avo has him dominated, but he's out of position.
Yep.
Here we go.
And this is going to be whoever bets this is going to get it.
Avo checks. Well, action's on Joe here.
Now, Joe is one of those guys, if I actually flopped a big hand, I'd check to Joe twice. Because Joe usually checks the first time, but he'll bet the second time almost always.
Check, check. The turn's a 9. Let's see if Avo takes the initiative here and bets. No, he's going to check again.
And sure enough, watch, Joe's going to throw some money in there. I mean, it's almost... I mean, if I was playing against Joe, that's how I would do it. If I had flopped, let's say I had 8-9, I might check to him twice to actually get him to induce the bluff. You can't check once.
And
the river would have been the 5 of clubs, would have given it to Avo.
So we move over to hand 13 now, and blinds are moving up to $100 and $200.
Wow, and this is the furthest we've been in this. Oh, no, we've got actually hand 14, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Simon won his match over Ali in hand 14.
Yeah.
Kind of just bled him slowly until he finally picked up a big hand.
Button's going to be on Avo there in seat 1.
We got 10-5, huh?
10-5 offsuit here. Well, he's got to make a move at some point. Joe's got Jack 3.
Yeah, neither hand is very good, obviously. Do you have much experience playing No Limit Hold'em heads up?
Just like basically getting towards the end of, say, Poker Stars, like double shootouts.
Tournaments and stuff, right? Yeah. Satellites and everything.
Mm-hmm. And Albo's he's not even going to play.
No, well, Joe raised it up a little bit. Joe did raise it up. See, we didn't see it, obviously, but Joe raised it up another 150. And Joe takes it down again.
So
I got a couple of
Albo
nights.
was on the button, and did he just complete?
He completed, and then Joe raised.
I see.
Okay. We didn't get the full action there. But we see. I've had a little No Limit Hold'em experience heads up. That is why I played with Brian, and I've also played 3-handed with Brian and another player, which I do enjoy. It's a lot of fun playing heads up.
Well, Joe's got Queen Deuce off suit. He's on the button. And Albo has 7-9 of spades. So the action's on Joe here on the button. Queen
The blinds
Deuce.
are what, 100, 200, right?
Yeah.
Now Joe doesn't want to put himself in a spot where he just limps in, and then Albo moves on the top, and then you almost got a call. You almost want to be the aggressor or just throw the hand away.
Well, heads up here, though. Joe's hand is better, obviously.
Yeah, Queen High is actually not a bad hand heads up, and it might be a good enough hand to really move in on.
I mean, the odds are pretty close here with 5 cards to go. Little suited
Right.
connector against.
But if Joe's the
card.
aggressor, can Albo really call with 9 high? And he's going to raise
He
it.
is going to raise.
I like the play.
He's going to make it 400.
And if Albo doesn't call this, I mean, he's really put himself in a spot where he's like, oh. And he's almost, I mean, that's pretty much all his money.
I mean, again, in this case, like this hand looks pretty in No Limit Hold'em in a full ring game, but heads up doesn't have a lot of value, does it, David?
No, I mean, I'd rather, to be honest with you, you'd rather have 10-3 than 9-7. I mean,
yeah.
High card is high card. And I'm not sure the exact mathematics here, but I'm pretty sure Joe is a favorite over 9-7 of spades.
And Albo's going to call. Actually, Albo calls.
Wow, he doesn't put all his... He only has like $80 left.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is just kind of like stop and go, hit and run, whatever you want to call it. King 6-5. Well, he's got a straight draw, and he's going to put the rest in here. But the thing is, how much left is it, though? Can Joe call here with Queen High?
Well, he's only got about $100 left. And I mean...
It's 165, and the raise was how much pre-flop?
400. So the pot is now 965, 165 to call.
Yeah.
And to me, it smells like a stop and go. You have to call this.
Right.
With Queen High.
Well, he might be thinking also that there's only a couple more hands left in the match, but...
Well, then, yeah, he does. I mean, this is hand 14. We do have 2 hands left.
But if Albo takes this hand down, he's going to become the chip leader, isn't he?
Well, the pot's 960. Actually,
no, it's going to be about even.
About even if he throws his hand away. But for 165, he can take a chance and win it.
He's going to make the call, Dave.
Yeah.
He says, whatever, I'm going to make the call.
And Albo needs a 7, a 9, or an 8, huh?
Backdoor spades as well.
Yes.
So here we go.
And Mo's nuts is there.
Turns a king. That's no help for Albo. There's the deuce. And Joe's going to win it there. And he wins it in 14 hands.
Joe wins it in 14 hands, and that's 3-1 for Mo's nuts.
Yeah.
I tell you, Mo got some good nuts because he can't win. And there we go, hand 14.
Last person. Yeah, Mike, sit down. We're in trouble.
And Mike he's almost in desperation here. He has to win this match.
Yeah.
I mean, the last match is actually Mike, Corporation Mike, representing Team Action, versus Brian Lee, who's representing Mo's Nuts. And if Brian Lee wins this, they will take a commanding $8,000 to $2,000 chip lead into the final match. Mm-hmm. And as of right now, Francisco would represent Team Action, and Ed would represent Mo's Nuts. I mean, this is huge for Mike. Mike needs to win this match.
For Team Action.
Mm-hmm. Once again, you are watching live at the bike, folks, and this is Heads Up, No Limit Hold'em.
is going to play. If you don't win, I'm going to take you out to the parking lot, cut your nuts off. Good luck.
Tournament style. Sorry about that, guys. And it's actually a team format where we have 5 players on Mo's Nuts versus 5 players on Team Action.
Don't worry about it.
We got $10,000 up for grabs here, guys.
And then Francisco is going to sit down on the other end, right?
Really exciting. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. It's very rare that you actually get to watch live, no-limit hold'em, heads up. And we've got Mike, once again, representing Team Action. Brian representing Moe's Nuts in the final preliminary match. Brian starts at the button. Blinds are 5-10, hand number 1, folks. And there we go. And we're going to get Brian to slow down a little bit. Brian folded it, actually, on the button. Mike takes a quick $5 lead. And Brian had 7 high and threw it away. And this is one of those things, Brian is pretty aggressive, but I'm not sure Mike is just super aggressive. And his play really works for heads up, that is. Short-handed play. And Mike raises it up right away with 10-8 here. Brian's got ace high, though. Mike's going to raise up to just $40 here. What do you do if you're Brian here with ace high? Do you slow play it and kind of trap him? Problem is, if you don't flop your ace, though, where do you go there?
He's right. He knows what he's going to do.
And he's going to raise it up. And how much is he going to raise it up here? And Brian's going to raise it up, looks like $300. $350. Wow. And obviously, I don't think Mike can call this, not this early in the match here. Mike's only in the pot for $40.
That's a big raise early on, David. What are we on, hand 2?
We're on hand 2.
Yeah. Wow, and he's going to move all in over the top of Brian. And Brian says, hey, I'm heads up with ace high. I'm going to make the call.
Yeah, and you know what? Brian had nothing to lose here, and Mike was just gambling.
Yeah.
And well, Mike's got live cards here. And they got to turn the cards over, folks.
Hey, we got it already.
Oh, here we go. Oh, there's a 10. 10, Jack 9. Spades turns a Jack. And the river's a king, and
Mike wins. And not only does Mike win, but Mike wins on hand 2, and he becomes the leader of Team Action.
Wow. Well, let's see. Did Mike win hand 1?
Mike won hand 1,
so
yes.
He's going to win.
He wins. Brian actually folded to him on hand 1, so Mike was $5 up on him.
Hey, Mike, we're going to fight. He's the team leader on that side. I'm the team leader on this side. Get up.
And this will make for an exciting finale here. We have Team Action with 4,000 chips versus Moe's Nuts with 6,000 chips. Ed will be representing Moe's Nuts, and Mike will be representing Team Action. And suddenly now these guys have a lot of chips, and the blinds are going to go way back down.
So here we get down to the nitty-gritty, Dave. That was kind of the fun part of the to determine who starts with more chips. But now and actually, Mike, I guess Brian still has about $15 in chips, Dave. I don't know how that's. I thought you had said that Mike had won the first hand.
He did. I was pretty sure he did. Well, they're all in here, and
we didn't get to see what they had. And I think that Mike had deuce 10, so he's going to take it down there.
Okay, there you go.
10s.
So Mike wins in hand 3. I do apologize for that.
Now here we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what this match is about. Those first 5 matches were kind of a little bit of fun.
Like you said, it was like the NBA regular season.
Yeah, NBA regular season, the NHL regular season,
exactly.
Jockeying for position. And now we're going to have Ed against Corporation Mike to determine the team winner. But your whole team can give advice, David. It's like a family feud.
Exactly.
And we're going to get you a detailed structure as to how we're going to do this because we've got a lot of time, obviously.
Right, but this is actually real heads-up, no-limit hold'em, folks. Like, obviously, we kind of manufactured those first 5 matches. We had to make sure they were done within an hour and a half or so.
Right.
So we have to make sure that the blinds escalated. But this is, I mean, we're talking Team Action's got 4,000 in chips. Moe's Nuts has 6,000 in chips. And the blinds are like 25-25 or 25-50. And they're going to obviously escalate throughout the night.
Now, do we know what the schedule of escalation is going to be?
We're going to get that right now.
Okay. Well, that's going to give us a little time to tell you what we're doing this Thanksgiving, Dave.
What are we doing this Thanksgiving?
Starting at noontime on Thanksgiving Day, we're going to be running 14 hours of straight poker, the best of Live at the Bike. And we'll be rebroadcasting episodes with Greg Raymer, the Bombshell Girls, Doyle Brunson, Jesus, Barry Greenstein. We're going to have Barry Greenstein's commentating on Live. And so again, and this was, remember what we had done before, I remember when we did a repeat several months before, if you popped into the show, say, a couple hours late, you would actually start from the beginning of the show. But this is actually a continuous stream. So if you pop in at 3 o'clock, you're going to miss the first 3 hours of the show. So again, maybe somebody can start a thread regarding, Thanksgiving Day on 2+2, because you're going to see 14 straight hours of the best of Live at the Bike. Dave Tuckman's out there trying to figure out what our schedules, what our blind structure is going to be. And again, you'll see at least 1 or 2 episodes with Barry Greenstein in here. 1 episode of Barry Greenstein in here. is his first episode when he did all of the commentary. So check that out there again on Thanksgiving Day. 14 hours of best of Live at the Bike. Again, we're going to be dark on Thursday and Friday of this week. So that is why we're doing the best of on Thanksgiving. So, have some turkey, eat some mashed potatoes, come over, watch 14 hours of Live at the Bike.
There you go.
Yeah.
The blinds actually are going to start at 25.50. Mike's going to start the button, actually. Team Action. The blinds are starting at 25.50, and we're going to escalate them every 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
So every 20 minutes, we've got a heads-up tournament here to watch. And again, the winner...
The winning team splits $10,000.
Splits $10,000, and of that, the team leader gets $2,400, and each of the other team members get $1,800.
Right, exactly. So, and there it is. Ed is. Thank you. There, I was curious. Ed is representing Mo Nuts, and he is the team leader, wearing the dunce cap there, and Mo's gonna. Mike's gonna have to put on his cap, or he will be ineligible to get. And there we go. And there it is, Team Action, folks. It's Thanksgiving week. We're trying to have a little fun here, guys.
So here we go, heads-up tournament style.
And this is real now. Now, once again, Ed and Mo's Nuts has 6,000 in chips, and Team Action Mike, Corporation Mike, has 4,000 in chips. So they have plenty of chips for these blind structures. And let's see how it goes.
And the issue now, too, is how much advice is Ed going to receive from his fellow players? Well, you get a couple of good heads-up players over there, Mo and Brian, right? Now, right off the bat here, it looks like Ed's got 9-5 suited on the button, and Mike's got King Deuce. And Ed's going to raise. He's going to make.
Now, these guys are really playing for money here.
Yeah.
I mean, even though...
They each are Ed is starting with 6,000 and Mike is starting with 4,000.
Right, exactly. Now, even though Mo lost his first match and Brian lost his match, if Ed wins, these guys will still get $1,800.
Right.
And same thing for these guys, for the losers of Team Action. So they really have a vested interest in their teammate here.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, Leo there, who got sucked out on by Ed, it's either 0 or 1,800. Big difference.
So 6,000 to 4,000, and Ed wins that first hand there. And here we get into hand number 2. And looks like Mike's picked up a little gap-suited connector, 6-4 spades. He's going to raise it up. Going to make it 150 to go.
Now, these guys got enough chips to really play some poker.
Yeah, this is great heads-up,
right,
heads-up stuff here.
Originally, we were going to do 5-10 blinds. At 5-10 blinds with 6,000 chips, it's ridiculous. So we wanted to push it a little bit.
Now Ed's got queen high here, and he's in the.
Now he just gave away the weakness of his hand.
He's in the blind.
Big blind. And he's
big
gonna
blind.
Fold. Yeah.
Once again, the button is the small blind, right?
That's right. And the button is actually first to act. I mean, heads up, the button is so huge, Dave, because not only are you first to initiate a raise, but then you have position in each subsequent betting round.
Exactly.
Yeah. And again, we will be doing Limit Hold'em tomorrow night. Some form of Limit Hold'em, Dave, depending on how many people we have. Either we did 6-12 last week, we've done 8-16 in the past, we've done 20-40, we've done 30-60.
A couple of raggy hands here. 6 deuce and 8-4.
Yeah, and they're just going to complete. Here, we're going to see a flop here. King, 9-9.
Yeah. And this is with and no limit hold'em, heads up. I mean, more often than not, both players are going to have nothing.
And Mike bets here.
And it's just a psychological game.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I mean, heads up here, the best player is Mike. So although Mike only has 4,000 in chips, he might be the favorite to win this one.
Right.
I mean, would you rather be in Simon's position right now or Leo's position?
I guess it depends if my team member is listening to my advice or not. So Mike has got
the problem is, though, if you give too much advice, you might give it away. And look at that. We've got standing room only. This is really exciting.
Mike's got a 7-4 offsuit. He limps, completes in the button, and Ed's got 7-3. He's going to check from the big blind. Wow, and both players flopped second pair there. Queen 7-5.
Yeah.
Ed checks and Mike bets 100. Look at this. Ed's going to check raise. He's going to make it 500. See, they're talking about what these, Leo and Mike are talking about what each other have.
I think it's kind of a family feud type thing. I mean, it's really exciting.
Right.
Never been done before.
Right.
Once again, completely live, folks. Unedited, unscripted.
And where's Ali? I think Ali's fed up. He's out of there, right?
Consult with each other.
Yeah,
Team Action?
I guess so.
And what was the other member of Team Action?
Maybe they saw the way Ali played and they said, forget it, we don't want you, Ali.
Ali and Avo. Oh, wow. Mike's going to make the call here.
Yeah.
Quickly, we've got at least a $1,000 pot. And the turn here is a king.
And this is actually going to be chopped up if...
And Ed's going to bet here.
They don't know how to play.
Dave, I want to say the pot was $1,000.
Yeah, and this is actually chopped up. I mean, his 4 doesn't even play. The 3 doesn't play. They both have a pair of 7s with a king, queen, 5.
Mike's going to call here again. And now the pot's about $1,800.
And they both basically have 3 outs to win the hand.
Come on.
Here we go to the river. The river's a queen. And that might make both of them stick around, obviously. Ed's going to bet here. $350 into an $1,800 pot. I mean, this is an easy at least call now from Mike, don't you think, Dave?
Now it's a question of, does Mike want to make a play on it? No.
No, he's just going to call. Chop it up, folks. Turn it over, Ed. Chop it up.
And that's kind of helps. Ed might have mucked his hand if Brian didn't tell him chop.
Right.
And, you know, some people forget when you play poker, poker's gotten so serious over the last, couple of years.
Right.
Where people are playing professionally and the money's there and they're all tense and people get angry. That you forget that poker is for fun. You're supposed to be having a good time playing it. Otherwise, don't play it. And you look at these guys. These guys are having a blast. And they're playing for $10,000, folks. This is not like, the winner gets, $10,000 for their favorite charity.
Yep.
They're not playing for a turkey on Thanksgiving dinner. They're playing for $10,000.
Yep. We have Kev math on 2+2 right. Bart, any idea of what exactly will be the best of show, like a breakdown each hour? Maybe we might be able to give you that
without
information.
A doubt. A small hint is Bart is not wearing a G-string, folks.
Once we get it confirmed, we'll actually put it up on the website, on the schedule. So check it out.
And I think it's a limp here. And they're going to see a flop. Pot's only $100.
Ace 4-8 here.
Mike's got a pair. And see Mike's aggressiveness? The second Mike has a pair, he bets. And actually, Mike doesn't even need a pair to bet. A pair is like overkill.
Well, Mo's talking to Ed here about what he might want to do. And Mike is probably the most aggressive player of this bunch.
Yeah, I
gotta be honest with you. Mike hasn't played like a long time, but if I were to pick somebody to play heads up, it might be Mike anyways, even though he only has maybe a year of poker
And look,
experience.
Ali's trying to sneak in there as a spy. It's like they're playing, it's like playing, capture the flag, and he's trying to capture the flag there.
You know what I'm saying? Mike's only been playing for less than a year, but
I can't
if you were
agree
to
with you
take somebody who heads up, wouldn't you pick him?
I can't agree with you more. In this group of players,
yeah,
I would definitely take Mike heads up.
Even over someone like Mo, right? Yeah,
it'd be close.
Yeah.
If they both had the same amount of chips. The problem is, like in freeze-out times, often Mike has more money by the end of it than Mo.
Right.
And can outplay him then.
Yeah.
If they were both start heads-up tournament, I'm not sure.
I don't know what Ed's thinking about here.
He's thinking of making a move.
No, Ed's going to fold.
And this is pure psychology, folks. And Mike has the best winner there. He had the best hand.
Yeah.
Had Ed dominated.
This is amazing, Dave. I have never coughed. I've never had a coughing problem in my life.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I just developed this cough. It's because everybody here in this casino, apparently, that I play with in the 30 game has been a little under the weather.
Really?
And my lovely Angie, my waitress, brought in this chamomile tea here. It helps me so much.
Good. That's good to hear. Pocket Queens for Mike. I'm sorry to interrupt your feel-good story of the month.
Yeah, he's going to raise 300 here. Again, the blinds are 25-50, so 6 times the big blind.
Look at Ed. Ed smile. Ed doesn't want to lay it on anything. It's the weather. The weather's been somewhat a little strange here lately. 80 degrees during the day and 55 at night.
Yeah.
That 30-degree swing can get you sick.
Well, that is kind of what LA is like, though. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
So Mike has raised here to 300 with pocket queens.
And once again, if you're watching this and you think your team can take on these guys, come on down to the bike, okay? We are in Bell Gardens, 10 miles south of Los Angeles.
Yep.
And you can challenge Moe's Nuts or Team Action.
Yep. And we fold. Now, again, we have an email here from Dan P. He says, where's that 2+2 thread tonight? Well, again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. You can go to 2+2 spelled out. It's 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums. In the poker section, tonight we are here under short-handed, heads up and short-handed link under poker there in the forums. So check us out. Obviously, this show fits right into that.
Yes. And these guys have plenty of chips here.
Now, Mike raised here, Queen 4 suited. And I think Ed's coming over the top with Ace Deuce. That's pretty standard heads-up fair, Dave. He came over the top for 1,000, and Mike folded. And he showed a deuce. Showed the deuce.
Well, there you go. And I think Mike is slightly ahead since the start, but since Ed started with 6,000 chips, anybody who's just joining us, we had a preliminary matches, 5 matches, where these guys, 5 players on each team played against each other.
Right.
And Moe's Nuts won 3 of the 5 matches.
Yeah.
So they start the finals with 6,000 chips.
Right.
And Team Action only starts with 4,000 chips. And right now it's at about 5,800 to 4,200.
Mike's going to raise. He's going to raise it to 200.
Yeah, Mike doesn't stop.
Jack 5 offsuit. And Ed's got a king. He's going to call heads up. Flop is Ace 7-4.
Yeah, you can't push around Ed. That's one thing for sure.
Well, let's see if Mike continues to drive forward. Look at this. Ed's going to lead right out, though. He's going to lead out here. Now, if you pick something up, though, Dave, remember, Ed re-raised with an ace last hand. So would you really put him on top here?
Yeah, but we know that he re-raised with an ace.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily turn
the
card over.
He turned a deuce over.
And he's going to take it down.
Yeah. And he shows a deuce
again.
Right, I mean, how do you know? I mean, you put him on ace deuce again, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
And look at this. Ed is schooling Mike. And I want to say Moe's Nuts is now probably up to about 6,200 in chips, maybe 6,100.
Yep.
Takes a slight lead.
Look at Avo. Avo, it's okay. It's only $1,000.
And there you go. There's Avo and Ali rooting on their teammates.
Button's over there to Ed. He's got 8-9 suited. Not a bad hand heads up. He's going to raise it up on the button. He's going to make it 300 to go. Again, the blinds are 25-50 now. Mike's got Jack Deuce.
Yeah, that's just an ugly hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care heads up or not heads up. Jack Deuce, what do you do with that?
Well, like you said, this is really an interesting matchup because you got a guy like Mike who obviously, like, if he was playing like an Ali heads up, he would just run him over.
Yeah.
But then you've got kind of got Ed, who tends to be a little bit of a calling station. So yeah, Mike might make moves that a rational player would get run over by, but Ed's not necessarily going to lay everything down to Mike.
No.
So it's an interesting combination here.
Ed will readily to say, he'll say, I am not getting pushed around. There's no way. Because he doesn't care about the money.
Now, Mike has got ace-6 here on the button, and he's going to raise it up.
Wow, big raise.
300. Again, we're only playing 25-50 blinds, and Ed's going to call.
No, he's
Did
re-raising.
he re-raise with queen 5? Well, now, Mike, we'll see really how he's going to play now. He's got a single ace, and he's going to move all in. He's going to move all in here.
Wow, and he's risking it all, and we're only at about hand 20.
I'm going to tell you, I mean, I know that they want to be aggressive, but do you really want to risk your stack? If you were playing a heads-up escalating tournament, Dave, where the blinds we were in the first level, would you make this move with ace-6?
Well, you wonder, though. Okay, remember, heads up here, okay?
Yeah.
Because Kenneth James made that call. Remember, he made that same move with, I want to say, ace-6.
With, against, in the Finals of Legends.
And where Alex...
Ace-4, actually.
Ace-4, okay.
Ace-4.
Same difference, though, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and Alex Canner, or whatever his name was, he called him with Jack-10. So, I mean, it's also a matter of, you know, what hands can Ed call with? Can Ed call with ace-10?
Right. Well, I got to say,
King, Queen?
Ed can't call with this now. I think the play's been taken out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
29.50.
So Mike has moved all in here for 29.50. Now, the thing is that if Ed has about 5 or 6... If Ed has maybe 6,000, are they talking about gambling it up to knock Mike out here? I just don't think Queen 5 is good enough.
The problem is you really put him in a spot where you give him 20 chips. Now, there is gambling. I mean, in about 5 minutes, the blinds will escalate up to, I want to say, 51.
Because I want to say that Ed pretty much has Mike 2-1 now. Because we started 6,000, 4,000. Mike's all in for 2,900, which means that Ed probably has somewhere around 6,000 left, I want to say.
Yeah, well, actually, he called the... He raised at 300 and then called the raise.
Right.
So 600, yeah, so he had 35.50.
Yeah.
And Ed had about 6,400, so you're right.
So that's what the issue is.
Ed
The
has,
guys
Ed
are
has
like,
58 left.
should we gamble it up here? Because if we make the call, you know, we'll still be in it.
It's
Because
exactly
if he has
2-1.
live cards, you know.
It's almost exactly 2-1, by the way.
Yeah.
Ed has 5,800 and Mike has 2,950 left.
I mean, that's what they're really discussing here. If you've got live cards, I just still don't necessarily think you want to take this type of edge, though. Maybe.
Well,
you
the
know,
problem is
later
that
on.
Mike makes this move sometimes with 10 high.
Yeah.
So you think, wait a second, not only do I have live cards, but I might even be ahead.
And they're talking about it. Brian and Mo are talking about it back there.
And the problem with it is, if Ed loses his hand, Ed is down to 2,950.
Yeah. It's an interesting hand thing. I don't think Queen 5 is big enough here, Dave. You might make the case if it was something like Ace 5, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you might even
maybe.
make the move if you have, like, King Jack. I mean,
Yeah.
because of the guy, the problem is, if you have two higher cards, like if Mike actually stumbled upon pocket 6s or pocket 7s, you only got one overcard.
Right.
And Mike takes on a big pot there.
Yeah.
I want to say it's back to, what, 4,200, 5,800 now.
Yep.
Oh, guys, I'm so
Now, these blinds are going to go up in about 5 minutes, maybe even sooner.
Again, that's a big gamble up to move all in the first level of a heads-up tournament.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
And you wonder, you figure, are these guys gambling? I mean, are they playing for real money? And yes, they're playing for $10,000, folks.
yep.
Please email
Wow,
us
we
and
got-
let us know what you think about this.
We got two people with ace high here, Dave. Mike's got ace 10 of diamonds, and Ed's got ace 4. And if Ed raises, you think Mike's going to come over the top here? Ed's raises to 200. And look at this. Mike's going to come back over the top for 1,000.
Ed might move all in here.
I was going to say, this could be the end right here. Well, I think Ed still has him out-chipped, though.
Yeah. And when you get Ed and Mike in a thing,
Yeah.
does it really make a difference what the blinds are?
Well, the other thing, too, I was going to say is we just stated Ken and James, made a call. I think he made a move all in with ace 4.
Yeah. Making a move with ace 4 is much different than
Yeah,
call.
yeah. But again, we're heads up. It wouldn't be unreasonable here.
Yeah,
Two
and if
players
Ed
with
moves
aces.
all in here and Mike calls, we're going to talk about an 8,400 chip pot.
And if Ed does move all in here, do you think it's a call for Mike? He's going to re-raise to 2,000.
And I think Mike might move all in here.
So, and now we're going to discuss it. Ed originally raised to 200. Mike re-raised to 1,000. And now Ed has made it 2,000.
Now this is interesting. This is heads up. You know what it is? You know what's interesting, Bart?
Yeah.
Imagine you're at the World Series of Poker. You're playing for a bracelet. You versus another guy. This is what it's all about.
Hey, let's see here. Yeah, and Mike's going to move all in here. Mike has moved all in. And I want to say we're going to see how much more. And, there's so much money in there.
I don't think he can get away from it now. And they call.
And Ed made the call. Ed made the call with ace 4.
This is an 8,400 chip pot.
So here we go. Wow, what a flop from Mike. He's got diamonds. Ed's going to need to catch a 4 that's not a diamond. Again, he has got 2 outs, right, Dave? And the river here is a 10. And Mike is going to double through here. But this is not over, though.
No,
not far from over.
Well, let's be honest, the blinds are only 25.50 right now. Now Ed has 1,600 in chips approximately, and Mike's got about 8,400, obviously. Wow, and Mike almost set that play up with the last one, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Wow, that's a big. So who was coaching him right now?
So.
Oh, we just took a big chunk.
900, 1,000.
That's 1,000. Breaking the piggy bank.
1,100.
So they're counting out the chips here.
1,150. 1,200. 500.
So Ed.
And Ed's moving all in here, huh? Or is he still counting?
Well, he's still counting his chips out from before.
Yeah, and most people think, oh, this is over, but it's not at all.
Yep.
I mean, in no limit hold'em, especially heads up here, if Ed doubles up twice, he's in the lead, right? He just doubles up twice, he's back in the lead.
That's right. And that's real cash, folks, there at the table.
Yeah.
So let's take a look and see Ed's chip stack there. See if we can estimate how much he's got left over there in C4.
Yeah, it's 1,500 plus or minus a couple.
Yeah.
And there you go. He's playing with a couple.
Yep. So Mike has him about 5 or 6 to 1 here. So now when you've got this type of chip lead, heads up, Dave, boy, you really want to put the pressure on the guy. I mean, you're moving all in with, say, Jack, Queen, high, right?
And that's where Mike is best at. Problem is, though, you don't really want to double up your opponent, though.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is our blinds are still relatively small.
Exactly.
So you don't necessarily want to be making those types of gambles to double the guy through if you're not stealing a lot of money,
You think
right?
about it, if Ed doubles up twice, he's in the lead.
Right.
So the blinds are only 25.50 right now.
Dealer, no blind. He'll take care of it.
Now, Mike has the button here.
Yeah, and he's got what?
8-5 of spades.
8-5 of spades.
Looks like he's just going to call. Let's see here.
And Ed's got 9-7.
Actually, he's going to raise it to 200.
Well, I like that play. He's going to put the pressure on him.
Yeah, Ed's going to
But
fold.
if Ed moves over the top, Mike might throw these hands away.
Right.
Because you don't want to double them up. The problem is, though, Ed's going to have to do this relatively soon because if he gets so short-chipped that Mike's not even scared of him anymore. And then he'll just call with any 2 cards. I mean, he might even be at that point now.
And Dave, we're getting word that after this... Well, we'll figure out what we're going to do after this.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We might turn this into a 10-20 no limit, or we might go heads up once again.
Play some more heads up poker, but real cash poker heads up, which is always exciting.
Now, Mike has got 7-5 of clubs, and Ed has got an ace. And I think Ed made a slight raise on the button.
He did, and he flopped a pair of 4s, so he's in good shape.
Mike is first to act.
And just like this, Mike could double up Ed right here.
Well, if Mike's going to bet, he's going to bet here. And I got to tell you, if I'm Ed, a lot of your chips might go in here. With
this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer call.
Yeah.
And Ed's going to
move it all in.
Now,
if Mike thinks he's got overcards to what would be second pair here, is he going to make the call? No, he folds. He folds. I was going to say it was wow. That it was only another 700 more there, Dave. But.
Well, there we go. Mo Nuts takes one in. And just like that, he's up to over 2,000 in chips.
Yep.
I mean, literally one double up and he's right back in the match.
Yep.
That's the nature of no limit hold'em.
Right. Yep.
And the blinds are going to go up just a little bit here. Blinds are going up to 50-75. Next level will be 50-100.
Yep.
We're trying to keep the blinds high enough to induce some action, but low enough where we can actually see some real poker. Hope you appreciate that. Mike's got a real hand. He's got ace-queen.
Wow, ace-queen. He's going to raise, and Ed's out of there.
Hey, Ed's picking his spots here.
Yeah. Absolutely, Dave. So again, we're up to 50-75 blinds. Look at the crowd. Look at that. It's the Greek poker god over there.
Oh, everybody's just standing room only. This is exciting.
Ace-king here for Ed in seat 4. Mike's got 8-3. And it got limp. I don't think that Ed raised from the button. Queen, 10.
He's trying to slow play. He's trying to trap Mike here.
And Ed's going to bet. Going to bet 225.
He's trying to trap him, but it doesn't work. And each pot, if it gets limped in here, each pot is $150. And Bart is coughing up his lungs here. We're going to actually auction off his lungs.
Well, it's
for
funny,
charity.
You know, it's funny. I've worked in two of the two of the best jobs to build your immune system up, Dave: bartending and poker playing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but sometimes it just catches up to you. Sometimes, you know.
Well, all those dirty chips, all those people we talk to, the cards. I mean, it's tough sometimes. I wash my hands about 18 times a day.
Now Ed's got pocket deuces. He's on the button.
He's on the button.
Mike's got king deuce.
Well, I mean, it's one of the few hands where the guy only has one overcard on you.
Right. Ed's going to make it 225. Oh, and Mike's going to move all in.
And I think Ed's going to call him here, and he might double up again.
Well, you don't know. I mean, if you just, do you need to, are you going to, you really think that you're only about 50-50 here, Dave. He doesn't realize he's actually a favorite, but do you want to gamble out up with a coin toss here?
To me, when you only have $1,700 in chips left, I think you need to.
Wow, and he's going to be in such great shape here, Dave. He doesn't even know it.
And they're going to love it. Mo's nuts is going to erupt.
Yeah. Wow. Here we go to the flop. Ace, 5 ace. Ed's good here. Mike could get a 5 here, though, too. He could pair the turn card, a pair of 5 here. Turns an 8, so he could...
5 and 8 or a king.
Yeah, 5, 8, or a king would do it for him here on the river. And the river's a queen, and Ed's going to double through there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know what, if I've got 6,000 or 7,000 in chips, no, I don't need to gamble. But if I've got pocket deuces, I only have 1,700 in chips left. I can't let Mike push me around. I can't wait for pocket tens, ace jack. And look at that, just like that. I want to say Ed is now up to about 4,400 in chips. It's back to almost even.
Let me give everyone out there who might want to become a part of this show, get your own team of 5 people, Dave. You could email us at live@thebike.com. What we might do next week, I just think it makes sense, is we might say, make the individual heads-up matches maybe a little longer, 25, 30 hands.
Yeah, no, I believe so.
Yeah, and we'll have the same type of deal at the end.
We're also in works of trying to make like an NCAA tournament-style, 64 type heads-up tournament.
Yeah.
Live at the Bike champion, world champion. But this one is not an invitational. Anybody can enter.
This is limped around here. Looks like Ed has 8-6, so he's got an open-ended straight draw. And Mike has 8-3. Mike doesn't have any part of this. And Ed checks. And Mike checks right behind him. Wow, the turn's an 8, and both players have pairs now.
Ed might double up here again.
Yeah, Ed checked it, and Mike bet. And Ed's going to call. It was a $300 bet, and the river's a 4.
Oh, what a bad card.
Oh, chop this one up.
Yeah, what a lucky card
Look
for
at
Mike.
this. Ed's going to bet now. And Mike is going to call. It's a $750 bet.
And the players are all excited, but we know it's a chop pot.
So what do you think the chips are at right now? Is it almost even now?
I want to say Mike's got about a $1,000 edge, team action.
Yeah.
Maybe like 55, 45.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are approximates.
And again, our limit Hold'em night is going to be tomorrow. And if we do this game in the future, I think we're going to try to push it for Tuesdays. Is that right? Because we want to keep limit on Mondays. But that's all to be determined.
We'll say, yeah.
Or we could move limit to Tuesdays. Nothing set in gold.
I mean, personally, I really am enjoying this. And since Shirley works on Tuesday, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to talk about it.
Wow, and look at this. Mike's got an ace. He's going to raise it up to 500. He's got ace-3 offsuit. Pretty standard stuff. I believe Ed just completed on the button.
These blinds are 50-75, folks.
Right.
I mean, and these guys are raising. I mean, the blinds structure almost means nothing.
Right. Well, Ed just completed on the button, and Mike has raised it with a single ace.
The Jack-5 is pretty bad.
Yeah, and Ed's going to let it go.
You know, it's kind of funny. Ed's team, I mean, Ed's got the Mo Nuts kind of got Ed's bravado.
Yeah.
But, Mo and Simon and the logic of those guys behind them.
getting word that the chips are pretty much even, Dave. It's pretty much 5,000 to 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Mike, and no pun intended here, but Mike had him by the nuts.
Yeah.
And just let him go.
Well, the pot was limped here. Deuce 10, 8. Mike did not raise with 5-6 suited on the button. Ed is checked, and Mike is going to check right behind him. So Mike isn't necessarily betting every flop that's checked to him.
He's picked up a double-gutted straight draw here, though.
Yeah.
A 7 or a 3 will give Mike a draw. Or give us Mike a straight.
Now, Mike actually tried to bet out a turn there, but Ed checks. And look at this. Now Mike checks behind Ed.
Yeah, that's a little play there.
And
Mike
Ed's hand is good with 9 high. Now, is Mike going to bet here? Well, Ed's going to bet.
He's not going to let him bluff at it.
Yeah, he's going to take it down.
Yeah, Mike wanted the free card there because he had a double gutter.
Yeah.
But if he had bet his draw, he probably would have taken it down.
The button now is in Ed's hand over there in seat 4.
Once again, folks, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen.
Wow, Ed's picked up a monster, Dave. He's got pocket kings. And he's just going to, I knew he was going to play this trap at some point. He just completes in the button, and Mike raises with queen 6 of diamonds out of the big blind. And look at this. Ed says, make it 13-25. The limp re-raise
and is
on
Mike
the
gonna
button
move
heads
all
up.
in like he likes to do?
With queen 6, though?
Well, he does it with any 2 cards. He's playing the player, not playing his cards.
Well, I think it's a little different. When, I mean, he's been doing that with an ace.
Yeah, any ace.
Now, remember, Ed has pulled this move before. Well, actually, he has never pulled the limp re-raise before on the button. And Ed's got pocket kings.
These guys are playing for $10,000.
Yeah.
Heads up tournament here.
Yeah.
Team action.
Mike's going to get rid of it. Great heads-up action here at Live at the Bike. We have 12 minutes left in this round.
Next level will be 5,100.
Wow, Mike's picked up a monster here on the button. He's got ace-king. And he's going to raise it up.
And the thing about Mike is he raises every hand, so
Yeah.
you can't give him any, you can't give him any.
Yeah. Looks like Ed has, you can see one deuce. We can't see the other card.
I can even beat them with this.
So it looks like 7 deuce offsuit there, dude. So Mike is going to take it down there with the ace-king. So again, Thanksgiving starting at noontime. 14 hours of straight best of Live at the Bike, Dave. Greg Raymer, Bombshell Girls, Doyle Brunson, Barry Greenstein. I'm sure probably Kathy Liebert will be thrown in there.
Wow.
Just check out our website when we get that schedule up.
I'll definitely be doing that for sure.
Limped around here.
I mean, I can only handle so much of my family, after a little turkey. Got to get away somewhere.
King 5-4 here. And Ed's going to bet here on the button. He's got a pair, and he's going to take it down.
Take it down. It's kind of cool. The green felt that I have there. Sometimes I want to practice, shuffling my chips on the green felt. But what's interesting? I don't have one of those at home, but I do have one of these at home, which is kind of cool. You can actually get this. If you click on liveatthebike.com, it's called Poker Pads.
Poker Pads.
And you can shuffle your cards. It's kind of a mouse pad.
Yeah, it's
cool.
really cool for internet poker. I mean,
that's great. I mean, it also for doesn't it stop carpal tunnel and everything? Yeah. Really cool.
Wow, we got a raise here. Mike raised and Ed re-raised with King Jack, and Ed's taking it down. And Ed is pretty. Ed is he's played it pretty well so far. Heads up, don't you think?
Hey, considering he almost pot committed himself when he had that ace-4 after he re-raised to 2,000. But after losing, almost pretty much, back from the dead there.
Yeah. Now, Mike has got King 3 off suit, and Ed's got ace-7, and he's going to raise it up here from the button. He made it 325. Mike's going to make the call, so we got about a $750 pot going heads up. Jack 8 Jack.
Ace high still good, and that's a really good flop for ace high. When the board pairs, it's that much less likely that your opponent has a pair.
And Ed's going to bet. He's going to bet 550.
And I got to imagine he's going to take this down. I mean, Mike's got 2 moves here, fold or raise. Francisco wants him to move all in.
Well, if Mike actually moved all in, would it be out of the realm of possibility for something like ace-7 to call? I mean, now 7 is not an overcard to what would be second pair.
Right, and that's the only thing. If you put the guy on an 8, if you say, okay, does he have clubs, or does he have an 8?
Right.
Or does he have 9, 10? Or does he have completely nothing?
Right.
Which are all under the realm
or,
of
of course, you
possibility.
could play it like a jack. Like he could have a jack.
Yeah, definitely.
You know. Now, Ed does have backdoor clubs here.
I mean, Mike is actually in really bad shape here.
And he's going to move all in here, Dave. He's check raised all in.
And that was a $550. Wow.
So this is what's happened here. Exactly what's happened. There's no play left. Mike has moved all in with absolutely nothing, but Ed only has ace high. But like you said, not necessarily a bad flop heads up for ace high.
Now this pot is...
I don't need to.
But at this point, what do you look at it, though?
Yeah. It's a $4,000 pot. Mike has check raised all in here. Well, it's 4,000 more, excuse me, from Mike. The pot is bigger than that.
Yeah, the pot is probably 5,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, the winner of this pot, if it's Ed, he'll take it the whole thing. But if the winner of this pot, if Mike just takes it down right here, he will be the chip leader.
Yeah.
It's only 3,100.
3,100? That's what Mike said it was.
I'm really surprised. I mean, Mike, I think Mike is a superior player, but obviously the players behind him changes that. But I'm surprised Mike's not really playing poker more. He's just moving in a lot.
So it's about 3,300 more here. And again, does Ed want to just call off that amount of chips with ace high? He still has a little bit of a chip lead.
I'm really surprised none of the players are really giving him advice.
Yeah, they're not telling him to call or fold here at all.
I mean, and they're trying to talk here. And there's Joe Wynn. We haven't seen much of him before.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you got.
Well, it's in pretty good shape if he makes the call, Dave. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Mike does have live cards.
Mike's pretty much got 6 outs, you know. And obviously Ed's got redraws.
You can't raise. If you're thinking about racing, you can't raise. Can we rebuy in this tournament?
Remember, and also, Ed raised the flop and Mike called.
And Joe is telling, actually Joe Wynn is telling him to muck.
Yeah.
Joe Wynn is telling him to muck.
Oh, and Mike shows the bluff. He shows the king 3 bluff.
Wow, and he's
Now
setting
we're
it
playing
up.
some poker.
And that's setting it up there.
Yeah.
He's setting up a play here. Ed's next time Ed has ace high, he's probably going to call him off.
Yep. Again, even though you said not necessarily a bad flop, it's a tough call to call a lot of your chips off with ace 7 there.
Because even if you put the guy just on an 8,
Right.
you put the guy on 8 deuce.
And it's a difference between if you put him on an 8 and you had ace 9 in your hands versus ace 7, right?
You've got some outs.
Right.
Ace 7 though, man.
Yeah.
You're in bad shape.
Pot is limped here and completed. Deuce 9-4.
I mean, you got to basically put the guy on a complete bluff to call that. And Mike's going to keep firing with
Well, he has
nothing.
the best hand with queen high here, and Ed calls with 10-5. The turn's a jack.
Oh, Mike's got a draw now. He's got a straight draw. And that actually is a
It goes
really
check,
bad
check here. And the river's a 9. So let's see if Ed can make a little post-oak bluff here, right, on the river?
Well, yeah, not post oak.
Excuse me, yeah. Well, he's going to put a bet in here.
Wow, and he takes that. And I was going to say that Jack on the turn actually was such a good card for Mike there, because a 10 actually would not have been good because it would have gave Mike a straight. I think you meant Pine Bluff.
Pine Bluff.
Pine. What the hell? Now you got me all screwed up there. You meant the Doyle Brunson one, obviously, the one from Super System 1. Post Oak Bluff. I forget it. I'm not even going to bother.
Terminology, poker terminology.
No, I mean you got it right, but I think it was the wrong place for it. Screwed it up there. Sorry.
Now Ed is going to complete. But again, like you said, Mike checking the turn with outs induced a bluff. And he just didn't make the call.
Well, he did it twice now. He's done it. Mike has actually twice checked when he had a draw.
Oh, boy, this might be it right here. Look at it. Ed's got top pair, but Mike's got top 2 pair. And Mike bets it. He bets 200 here. And Ed, I think he's going to raise.
Uh-oh, this is...
Put your 800 in.
And let's see how much more it is here.
And Ed has a gut shot.
That's 8. Now I called it all in.
All right.
And Mike moved all in, and Ed called.
Wow, and
Ed called.
Ed needs an 8.
Yep.
Ed needs an 8.
Yep. 7-9 here against 5-9.
And Mike, if Mike wins this pot, it's over.
Does he have more chips than it? 10 here on the turn. Again, Ed needs an 8 here. And the river's an 8, Dave! But look at this, it plays. The board plays. Chop it up. chop it up. There's a straight on board.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, the 10 on the third actually killed his outs. And they chop it up. And this is the heads-up match that just won't end. It's amazing. And we were worried about this thing ending too early.
Scare me from money, okay? And I don't need this thing.
Look at that. He's taking off the headband, Dave.
I think he's sweating. I think he's sweating.
Wow. So you still think that you think Mike has more chips than Ed right now?
I think he got it because of the bluff with the king high.
Yeah.
I think he's got about $500 more chips.
Yeah.
Not much, but maybe 500 more. It's real close. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Come on, let's gamble.
And Ed is going to raise it out of the blind here with deuce 7 of hearts.
And most people that say let's gamble have a real hand.
And Mike calls with queen 6 on the button. Oh, Mike's got a pair here, so Ed could get himself into trouble.
Slow down. Don't go that fast. 300.
Ed's going to bet 300 here. See what Mike does. And he's going to move all in, and Ed can't call here now. And look at this Mo say, don't show your hand. Mock and don't show your hand.
The funniest thing is if Mo wasn't there, Ed might call this. Just out of frustration.
And I think that Mike showed a queen there. Queen only. Wow.
Well, queen high was good. Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen, and you are watching No Limit Hold'em. Heads up. We've got team action versus Mo's Nuts. We've got standing room only. Everybody's excited watching it. And the floormen are trying to get people back out of there.
Pot is completed and limped here. 8,
Wow.
4, 7.
And pocket 10s for Ed.
And Ed didn't raise, I think, on the button. And he is flopped top set, and he's going to bet. And
Wow.
he's going to take it down.
Someone was selling.
And actually, you know what? Ed did raise a little bit. And unfortunately for him, Mike didn't catch any part of that flop, did he?
Yeah, if that had come out 10-5-3, who knows?
We got an email here from Dave Jones. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. He says, have you forgotten that in a heads-up match, one should play exactly like he would for cash?
Of course, this is for cash.
Right.
Obviously, if you're playing in a heads-up match, you should play exactly like you would in for cash.
Right.
The only difference, obviously, if you're playing in a cash game, in a heads-up cash game, where the blinds are not escalating, obviously your play has to differ than if the blinds were escalating.
Now, we had a raise here by Ed, I believe, with King 4, and Mike made the call with Deuce 9.
Well, he's fought the best hand here. He's got Deuce 9. He's got a pair of deuces.
Well, if someone raised pre-flop, do you want to take this hit with bottom pair, 9 kicker? And Ed's going to bet.
500.
He's going to bet 500.
Well, if you took that theory from Sklansky and you made the ace of hearts the deuce of clubs, I really like my hand then.
Right.
Can I do that? Is that allowed?
And he's just not going to get involved there with the deuce.
And once again, if you're just tuning in here, this is the finals of this team heads-up match. What it started was it was a preliminary match where we had 5 matches, 5 members. Each team is 5 players, and we had 5 matches to determine how many chips each team would go into the finals with.
The chip count, yeah,
exactly.
At the finals. Yep.
After the 5 matches, which Mo's Nuts team won 3 of the 5, they had 6,000 chips going into this finals match, and Team Action had 4,000 chips.
Yep.
1 second, let me see my hands.
And we've been up and down for the last, say, hour.
Make it 1300.
Numerous all-ins.
Now, we had a raise here by Mike with 8-4 clubs, and Ed's going to come back over the top for 1,300. He's got ace 5.
Wow. Is Mike going to call this?
I can't imagine he's going to fold it. I got to tell you, this has been pretty entertaining thus far, Dave. I mean, much more entertaining than, say, a tight 300-500 game that sometimes we can have.
A heads up, you can't sit there and just keep folding, you know? You got to play.
And I think I hear a blind buzzer here, so we're moving up to 75-100 blinds. It's interesting. I don't know why that's 70.
Yeah. Strange blind structure, but hey, we'll work with it.
Well, 75-100. Well, pocket 3's here for Ed on the button. He's going to raise him. Mike got a pretty big hand heads up, too. He's got king 10. Some people might re-raise here. $350 raise here by Ed. Mike is going to call.
He's got a smooth call. He wants to see a flop. He wants to see maybe he can trap Ed.
Here we go. Well, 8-9 queen. Now, Mike has a draw.
He's got overcards and a draw.
He's got one over.
And he needs a jack, a 10, or a king to win this hand.
Yeah.
But if he bets, it's going to be tough for Ed to play.
And again, I always think that small pocket pairs, no matter if you're playing heads up or at a full ring table, when you're heads up with someone in position, can sometimes be difficult to play, Dave. Because usually there isn't going to be a good flop for pocket deuces or pocket
No,
threes.
yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah. And look at this. Mike is going to bet right in here.
And he's putting enough in there where I think he's pretty much pot committing himself.
He's bet 1,600 here.
And you almost wonder, what kind of draw does he have, though? I mean, do you think maybe he's got like 6-7? I mean, why is he betting so much?
Well, the other thing, too, is that, Mike might want to take control of this hand against someone who might have raised with ace-rag, no pair here on the flop, right?
Yeah.
Why let someone with ace-6 take it away from you?
Well, and that was Mike's. I think Mike called pretty much that stop-and-go type thing. I'm going to smooth call and then almost bet any flop.
Right.
And Mike likes to do that a lot.
And again, with 2 cards to come, you want to say, isn't Mike probably a slight favorite, right?
Well, let's see. He's got 3 kings, 3 tens, and 4 jacks.
Well, yeah, you're right. He doesn't have the open-ended straight draw.
So he's got, you want to say he's got about 10 outs.
So he's a slight underdog.
Plus some sort of like, runner, 9, double pairing the board.
Double pair board.
Exactly.
Maybe what, 45,
now
55?
The turn actually would have been a jack, and the straight would have come.
He would have made the straight. Yeah.
By the way. But he wins it without even having to.
Again, it's very difficult to play those small pocket pairs, Dave, even in position, right?
Yeah, no, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
And this has been a lot of fun for us and a real challenge for us, obviously, because it is really fast-paced.
Right.
And to keep up with the action and keep it moving is tough. Great job by our technical staff to keep up with everything.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Tell us what you think about tonight's show. I think it wasn't a bad idea, Dave.
No, a lot of fun.
I'm loving it.
Change it up a little bit.
Now, Mike has raised it up here. Excuse me, Ed has raised with Jack 3. And Mike has got ace-7, and he's been playing it pretty hard all night. I wouldn't be surprised if he re-raises here.
That's a question. Do you want to re-raise? The problem with slow playing a hand like this is you can't necessarily put a guy on a hand.
He calls.
I mean, Ed could have anything.
Pot's now $500. Well, deuce 5.
That's a nice flop in pocket threes.
And Ed's going to bet, so how is Mike going to play this now? He could still have the best hand here with ace-7.
I think Mike probably raises this.
$325 bet, and it looks like Mike's just going to call. He's just going to call.
Yeah, Mike likes to call when he thinks he might have the best hand.
Oh, wait a minute. He is raising. I'm sorry. He is raising.
I was surprised. I was like, wow.
He's going to make it 700 more.
And I thought he smooth called the pre-flop to make this play on the flop.
Yeah.
1,500.
So he's made it 1,500 straight, 800 more.
And Ed can't do anything here.
So you think almost Mike just kind of slow played the hand pre-flop so he could just make this move when anything came out?
I would imagine so. I think he had this in his mind before the flop even came.
There's Corporation Mike's mother right there.
Yeah, and then behind that's actually Hashem.
And
another great guy.
Yeah.
Ace-5, you lay down. Wow.
And what just happened here? Did we just miss some action? Why is Ed pulling in the chips?
Ed went all in. I'm sorry, we missed that. Ed raised all in, and we missed the action. We were actually looking at Ed's mom and Hashem for a second there. And
Ed moved all in. Wow.
Ed moved all in on the bluff, and Mike obviously can't call with ace-high. Threw away ace-high.
Yep.
What a play by Ed.
Unbelievable.
And we
sorry
keep
about
saying
that, folks.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like we said, it is live. It is. We are live here. We're unedited, unscripted, and we're trying to do our best to keep up with it.
Limped and completed here. Ace, queen, jack here on the flop.
Mike's got a gut shot here.
So Ed moved all in there, and Mike had the best hand with ace-7.
Yeah, but he can't call with ace-high.
Right.
He threw it away. And suddenly now, you look at Ed is now in the lead.
Yeah.
And Most Nuts takes the lead there. And once again, we keep saying, heads up poker. You can't wait to hit hands. You can't wait to hit flops.
Absolutely.
You can't wait for the nuts in this game because you're just going to get blinded off if you do that.
Right.
This game's all about psychology. Playing your player, you're not playing the cards.
Button now is in seat 1. And it looks like Mike is going to raise, or he raised a little bit. And here we're going to see a flop here. Queen 5-3. And actually, I think it was just limped around.
Yeah, this was limped. And it's a $200 pot. And Mike's just dominating here. He's got Jack 9 over Ed's 9-8.
And he's got a heart draw now. But Ed, after it got checked, he's going to bet here. Let's see if Mike raises with his draw.
Yeah, and
looks like Mike is just going to call the $350 bet here.
Yeah, and Ed is basically drawing to a non-heart 8.
Here we go. And the river's an ace, and Mike makes a backdoor hearts. And Ed's going to bet here again.
And I imagine Mike's going to raise this, and I can't imagine Ed calling with 9 high.
$500 bet here.
And this might be a tell. Look at Leo. Leo's suddenly really curious.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second.
Stack.
And there's a lot of cards that this guy. Any deuce also brings a straight. And he's going to raise it.
Gonna raise.
And look at this. He's not raising all in.
No, he's just going to make
call.
it the minimum. He's going to make it 1,000 more. And there's just nothing out there that Ed can beat.
No, well, I mean, Mike is kind of giving him enough rope to hang himself. He's trying to say, well, maybe he'll come over the top on me. Can't call me if I move all in, but maybe Ed will try to make a play on it.
You also might want to rope the guy into trying to call just with a deuce here, right, Dave? Could he be betting an open-end straight draw on the turn?
You're hoping the guy has a deuce, or you're hoping the guy has, 2 pair or something.
Dave, if you're looking for a present for stocking stuffer
It's
from
funny.
your loved one.
I was in the Glendale Galleria today looking for presents. Man, I hate the malls. They suck.
Well, if you're looking for something that's fresh, hip, and exactly what your poker player in your life wants and needs, don't be a Scrooge. Splurge and get a month subscription for someone to the archives. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's amazing, Bart. You actually, it almost sounds like you're reading that, but that just came right off your tongue. Really fabulous.
Wow, look at this. Ed's got ace-queen, and I believe that Mike raised. I believe that Ed just called on the button, and Mike raised it. Let's see if Ed pulls the limp re-raise here again. And it looks like he has. No, wait a minute. Did he just call?
Yeah, it's $1,200 pot.
So Ed did not limp re-raise with ace-queen, and now what?
And now it's a $1,200 pot to the flop. The flop is now 7 high, rainbow board.
So now we're getting word, excuse me, that Ed did. Okay. And now Mike is checked, and Ed's going to bet.
Yeah, and
he's going to take it down.
Mike tried to be aggressive there and take it away, but obviously, realized that Ed probably had something pretty strong.
Yeah.
Once again, it is tough sometimes to follow this action because it goes so quick.
Yeah, especially now heads up. We're having a little bit of difficulty, but we're doing the best we can, obviously. Now Mike has got the button here. And Mike's picked up a pretty big hand.
Yeah,
Ace 9 offsuit.
Ace 9 offsuit, okay.
400.
Mike has raised it. He's made it 400 here. And Ed's going to re-raise to 1,200. Looks like Jack.
Did he even look?
Looks like Jack 10 of hearts. And Mike has moved over the top all in. And Ed's made the call, Dave,
that
with
quickly.
Jack 10.
Wow. We got Ace 9 versus Jack 10. Mike is in the lead. I don't know the exact percentages, but I would imagine that Mike is probably close to, I want to say probably, 57, 43%.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, if Mike wins this, is he going to win the hand?
No, Ed's actually ahead. Ed
has more chips. How do you make that call quickly with Jack 10 of hearts?
Well, that's Ed.
It's unbelievable.
And Mike is still in the lead here with Ace High.
Yeah. Turn is an 8. Now Ed can catch a heart, a jack, or a 10. He's got a flush draw. Here we go to the river. River's a 6, and Ace High is going to win it, much like it usually happens in heads up.
Amazing. I can't believe Ed just called off all his chips with Jack High. Jack 10 of hearts, and that's obviously it's an amateur mistake.
Yep.
And I'm surprised Mo didn't stop him. Maybe Ed moved all in before Mo can stop him. Because you kind of look at it and you go, Jack 10 of hearts, it's a real pretty hand. And I like it multi-way, know. I don't mind calling a raise if I got 5 or 6 people in the pot and I get to see a multi-way pot, no limit hold, and I can win a big pot. But I don't want to call an all-in.
Like you said, King Deuce is ahead of you, right?
Yeah, I don't know the exact percentages, but it's definitely a little bit ahead. Jack 10 of hearts is just,
Now, actually, the interesting thing about Jack 10 of Hearts is normally when you're up against a pair and you have something like 2 overcards, you're a slight dog. But if you have a Jack 10 of Hearts and you're up against a pair that's less than, say, 5s, you're actually a slight favorite.
Yeah, like 10-9 of diamonds, I know 10, Jack 10
and 9
over
10,
like pair of 3s.
Yeah, those middle connecting cards. But again, I mean, you'd have to put that guy in that specific hand. What are you hoping that he turns over when you have Jack 10 of Hearts? Because you're never going to be more than a 54% favorite, right?
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, maybe they're just looking to gamble. Maybe Ed's just bored and he wants to gamble up a little bit. Shocking to me, I got to be honest.
They have a lot of...
You know what? Mike was down a lot of money, to be honest with you. I mean, I believe because of a couple of bluffs that Ed had pulled off, it was probably closer to 6,000, 4,000 again.
Yeah.
And Ed was trying to put that knockout punch in there.
Okay, what is it?
So that cost Ed, we want is $36.75. So I think he still's got. Yeah, he still has over 2,000 there, Dave.
Yeah, he's got about 2,400, and that's the reason he called.
Yeah.
He just said, you know what, I'm here to gamble a little bit. Let's see if I can win it.
So we're still in the action, and Mike has what, about a 3-1 chip lead now?
That's a pretty good guess, yeah.
Now both players have ace. Both players looks like Ed has ace 10 and Mike's got ace 9. But look at this, it just gets completed. Oh, ace 9 against ace 9. 5-3-3 here.
Well, let's see who outplays who on this one.
Mike bets 500. Oh, I can't believe that Ed didn't raise there. And Ed is going to call.
Wow.
Doesn't look like Mo's too happy. I'm surprised. Why aren't they telling him what to do?
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not being a little more active.
Turns a 6. And Mike's going to move all in here with ace 9.
And Ed's in a tough spot here. Does you want to call up all his chips? If he doesn't call this, he's only got about 1,700 left.
Yep.
You know, calling the 500 on the flop was probably a mistake. You needed to either raise it or fold your hand away.
Well, how about raising 2 on the button?
Well, one of the two things.
Yeah.
You just couldn't. You can't just call the flop and then what happens on the turn. And now he's put himself in a tough spot here. Can't even beat. You know, he can't beat Jack 5. He can't beat 5 deuce.
Try to suck out one of his live cards, one of his kings or one of his eights.
Once again, we're live at the bike here, and we're playing heads up, no limit hold'em. Mo Nuts in the red team there versus black team action. And they are playing for $10,000, folks.
That's your original cover, or are you a little bit more
And Ed is still thinking about it here. Both players have the same hand. They both played it slow pre-flop, no raises. Ace 9, I mean, heads up, Dave. That's a big hand.
Yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, if you want to see how to play heads up poker, you watch this for a couple hours. I mean, it just teaches you what to do, what not to do, how players are reacting. And this is a tough call for Ed. Tough play.
Well, Mike bet out on the flop.
And
he's going to make the call, and they're going to chop it up.
Yeah.
They're going to chop it up. Wow, and the river's an ace.
Yeah, and they both end up with aces and 3s and a 9 kicker. Obviously, your best 5 cards play.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes, you know, Ed has limped in with a lot of good hands on the button.
Yeah. Yeah, Ed's a tough. I mean, I'll give you this. A lot of players can make fun of him. They go, "Oh, come on." I mean, Ed is one of the nicest guys in the world. You know, he's there to have a good time.
I know.
And look at that, team versus team. But it's tough to put him on a hand, isn't it? I mean, these two guys are playing. I mean, it's how do you know what the heck they have ever?
Limped in here again. Wow, and Mike's got an open-ended straight draw, but Ed's got bottom 2 pair, and Ed checked it, and Mike checked right behind him. Turns a king. Ed is checked again, and Mike takes a card again, Dave. And the river's a jack. So Ed tried to slow play it, but look how dangerous that was. And he checked again.
Yeah, had a 6 come, Mike would have gotten a straight there.
And he checked again, and I don't think that Mike ever fired at it. Wow, Ed checked 2 pair 3 times there, trying to get Mike to bet.
Well, you know what? I mean, Mike bluffs so often.
Yeah.
You know,
And Mike actually had a gut shot to the 6, excuse
Yeah.
me. It wasn't open-ended. Yeah.
You know, he bluffs so much that you're trying to induce that bluff, but you know what? Mike smelled it.
Yeah. It looks like Mike's got pocket 9s now.
A couple of red 9s, huh?
Ed's on the button here. He's got deuce 7 offsuit. He limped in, and Mike is raised.
And I think Ed's going to throw this away, isn't he? Deuce 7, yeah, he does.
Let me ask you the point. Like, I mean, it's not it's not out of the ordinary. It's not ridiculous to fold some hands on the button like deuce 7, right?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the structure here is the blinds are 75-100.
Yeah.
So you're putting in $25.
That's right. It's a good point.
You're putting in 1 chip to win 7 chips.
So you're getting so many odds that you can pretty much
I'm getting
slip
7
in with
to
anything.
1.
Yeah.
You know, on that 1 chip. I mean, I almost have to call, don't I?
Especially if you're, up against a guy that's not always going to raise on
Right.
the blind. Well, going by that theory, could you always just limp in with your good and your bad hands and never raise on the button?
Well,
just
it's dangerous though. I mean, if you do that, and I mean, to me, I'd rather be raising pretty much half the time, and then once in a while limping in with a big hand.
Pot's limped around here. King, queen, 5. No one has any piece of it.
I mean, I don't always give somebody a free ride. If I have ace 7, I don't want to give him a free ride.
Turns an 8. Ed is good here with 10 high. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Mike's got a pair of 5s. And he checked it again. And the river's a 5, and he makes trips at the end.
Yeah. And Mike doesn't bet that because he knows he can't get called unless the hand beats him. And here he's going to bet because he has trips. Kind of hoping that Ed's got, an 8 or a queen.
Mike bets 400 here.
Or who knows? Maybe Ed could be slow playing 2 pair even. Who knows? But Ed's got nothing.
Mike takes it down.
And look at their stacks. The most amazing thing is their stacks have gone up and down and up and down.
It's been a roller coaster ride.
And we're still going on.
We have 3 minutes left on this level.
And I believe the next level will be... Wow, the blinds are going to jump up to 100, 200.
Wow. Well, Ed's got pocket 3s here on the button. Let's see what he does with it.
Well, he doesn't have that many chips. I think he might commit himself if Mike raises.
Let's see if he raises here. He's going to raise, and Mike folds.
I see, that's smart by Mike. He doesn't need to win every hand. The blinds aren't that big. You can give 100 here, 100 there.
And Ed, again, one of those hands, just like he had deuces before. 3s is not necessarily always going to be a favorite against any 2 random cards, but Mike had 8-3 at that time.
and deuces and 3s and 4s in a no-limit hold'em tournament, heads up or something like this, you almost want to just, sometimes you just want to move in and kind of just, that way all the decisions are taken out of your hands.
Now, Mike's got ace-king suited on the button. See if he continues to, continue to add the pressure. And he says raise.
Yeah, he's going to raise it up. I mean, I like this play better. I mean, I like that Mike raises almost every hand.
Right. Raise every time on your button, right? Especially now when the blinds are big.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be predictable. Wow. And that puts Ed in a spot where, I mean, he's almost pot committed if he calls. I don't think he can call this with 6 deuce of diamonds, can you?
Well, he's got about, 23? Oh, man, he's going to go all in, and Mike's going to call.
Yeah, this is about a 5,000 chip pot. Ed's got live cards.
Yep.
About a 2-to-1 dog.
Here we go to the flop.
Tony's in bad shape.
Turns a 4. And the river's a 6, Dave! And this thing isn't over yet! Wow!
Well, you know what? Some people can look at it and go, well, what a terrible play. But you know what? Ed moved him with 2-6, okay?
Right,
Ed,
right.
And you figure, okay, even if I have 2 live cards, I'm only a 2-to-1 dog.
Right.
As long as the guy doesn't have an overpair, I'm not in that bad shape.
Well, the thing is, though, you need to make that move thinking that, there's probably at least a 30, 40, 50% chance that Mike is going to lay it down.
Well, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Exactly how you're looking at it. You're raising there thinking, okay, 33% of the time he's going to lay it down.
Right.
And the other 2 out of 3 times, I might win one of the times. So then I've got more like a 50 or 60% chance of winning his hands.
Right.
And Ed didn't want to sit around and wait for the nuts. And thank you here. We got a little post here from Mac Macer on 2+2.
Never seen him.
Yeah, letting know that Ace 9 is about a 53% to 47% over Jack 10 hearts. So you can't fault Ed really for making that call.
Look at this. Ed's got pocket 3s again, and he's raised.
And they're back to even, by the way. We're back to 5,000 each.
He made it 400 to go, and Mike called with king high here. So here we go. Queen 5-9. Well, Mike's hit bottom pair. And again, let's see how Ed plays with pocket 3s. Now, Mike bet with his draw last situation, and this time he's going to check. And now Ed's going to bet.
Check and call here? Induce a bluff?
Well, you don't necessarily know if your hand's good. He's going to call. We hear the blind buzzer. Turns a jack. It's a club.
Ed's picked up more outs here. Ed has 2 3s or any club. So he's got Do the math real quick here.
Mike
He's got
checks.
9 clubs and 2 threes. He's got 11 outs.
Mike checks. Let's see what Ed does here. He's going to bet again.
And that's a scary card for Mike. You know, I mean, this
Yeah.
guy raised. Does he have a queen, a 9, a jack? Wow.
Wow, and Mike's going to call again.
And that's a great read there.
Yeah.
Ed is behind. He's 11 outs to win this.
About a $2,000 pot, and the river's a 7. Now, is Ed needs to bet this, right, to win, you figure?
Well, you got to imagine he needs to bet.
He's only going to bet 500 here.
Well, and that's not a very big bet there. Now, to me, if Mike calls the turn, the 7 of spades doesn't change anything, does it?
Yeah, well, it's $500 into a $2,000 pot.
That's an odd bet
And
there.
he can only beat a pure bluff or an underpair. And the 5 is going to be good. King 5 is good.
And that's Ed's inexperience there. The river bet was kind of a wasted $500.
I don't understand why some of the guys on his team aren't telling him. They can give him advice.
Yeah, it's a surprising bet
I mean,
there.
obviously, Mo's going to tell him, well, if you think that you need to bet this to win the hand, well, you got to put in like a nice $1,500 bet, at least
Right,
$1,000.
right. The problem is, though, is if you talk too much, isn't that a tell?
Yeah. It's interesting. So Mike is going to take the chip lead now, and the blinds are moving up. 100, 200 now.
I mean, maybe Ed tried to make it look like, well, I want you to call me. There's a little mini bet.
Wow, look at this. Both players have the same hand again. How many times has this happened in this heads-up match? Queen 10 and Queen 10.
Yeah, uncanny. Mike's suited, though. He's got the diamonds.
I call.
Mike raises.
1,000, looks like. Wow.
Wow, and Ed's just going to call. Now, is Ed going to play this as a little bit of a stop and go? There's Tuan Lee in the background.
Yep, we get all the greats here.
Yeah. Because Ed doesn't have many more chips left. Oh, ace 7 deuce. See if Ed plays again the stop and go. And he's going to do that, Dave. He plays the stop and go. He moves all in.
Now, this pot...
And look at this. Mike folds.
What a great play by Ed.
Yeah.
And he moved all in for about 1,700 there.
Yeah.
So, and that pot was, I want to say 2,400 before that. So he is now back up to 4,100 in chips.
Yep.
Now, when we started this finals match, Ed had 6,000 in chips. That's Mo's Nuts had 6,000 in chips. And Mike, representing Team Action, had 4,000 in chips. And it's obviously reversed. But it is still anybody's
Ed's
game.
got pocket threes again. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, amazing.
And this time I think he just limped. And Mike checked. Jack deuce 6. And Ed's going to bet. Going to bet 350. Mike's not going to get involved. Yeah, this is just unbelievable. I mean, Ed's picked up pocket threes 4 or 5 times. They've had the same hand 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and we are going to keep this Live at the Bike webcast going until there is a winner.
Yeah.
We will not leave you guessing. Don't worry. Nice shot at Nicole.
Not interested.
Scott Groves is co-commentator.
Oh, the B team. Actually, I think Nicole is the B team. I think Scott Groves is the C team.
If I play my game, these guys are not going to be involved. I give you guys 2 minutes. 3 minutes from now. It's 8:10 by 8:13. You're crying.
So the button is going to move over here to Ed. Starting to trash talk a little bit.
Yeah, they are talking. Well, they're trying to say, hey, Ed, let's just play it heads up, no advice.
Right.
And Ed's like, oh, if there's no advice, I'd be killing this guy. And look at this. Look at the spades these guys have.
Ed's going to raise. He's got 6-8 of spades.
And Mike's got 9-5 of spades.
Mike calls. So we get a $1,000 pot.
Well, if it comes out all spades. Well, no, it doesn't.
Deuce 6 deuce. Well, Ed's got top pair.
Yeah, nice flop for Ed there.
1,000.
And Ed's going to bet 1,000. And Mike's going to fold.
And I want to say this is back to even now. I think they
Yeah.
both have 5,000 chips again.
Yeah.
This is amazing. You know, and the blinds haven't been that big, but these guys don't pay attention to the blind structure at all. They're just playing poker.
Right. Mike is going to raise here. He's got queen 5, but Ed's got queen jack suited, and he's going to come over the top. Bang, boom, bang. And Mike folds.
I
and
couldn't have
Ed's on a
said it
little
any
bit of a
better
rush.
myself there. Bang, boom, bang. If you have any questions for us, comments, or, hey, let us know if you like this or you hate it, email us at liveatthebike.com. You can always send Bart and I a message, a private message on 2+2. My name is Friar Tuck on 2+2. Bart Hansen is Bart Hanson.
Got it.
On 2+2.
Hanson, the Swedish way.
Let us know what you think of this, because we're going to try to keep doing this, because we like the heads-up format.
Look at this. Ed is going to raise. He's got king 9 offsuit. Now Mike's got king 6 suited. He's dominated, but again, heads up, Dave. Not necessarily the worst hand. He's going to make the call. And if we see a king flop here, Dave, I think we're going to see all the money going. Wait a minute. Did Mike re-raise? Mike has moved all in.
Yeah,
Mike has re-raised all in here.
And they're almost even. I want to say Mike maybe has a $500 or $300 chip edge.
Yep.
And is Ed going to call him with king? No, he's not.
He's going to fold.
And Mike takes it down.
So the button's going to move over here to Mike. And Ed's got deuce 5 of diamonds here. And Mike's got deuce 6 of clubs.
Some winners there, huh?
Limped around.
Well, not surprisingly, nobody hits the flop again.
Well, it's going to get checked to Mike. And Mike has position. He's going to bet 600. And is Ed going to call here? He's got a gut shot wheel draw. Is he calling to make a move? Turns a queen. Is Mike going to shut down now?
I check again.
Mike's got position on him, so. And I'm looking at the chips there. I want to say Mike's got about a 3-2 edge here. 6,000, 4,000 in chips, maybe?
Yeah, Mike's going to check. And the river's a 4. Let's see if Ed bets it. And this is a chop pot, Dave.
Yep.
This is a chop pot. And you got to think someone's going to bet here.
Yeah, they both have pair of 4s, ace, queen, 9.
And Ed's going to bet 1,000, and Mike quickly folds. Let's see if Ed shows the bluff. Nope.
And they would have chopped it down there. Best 5 cards play.
Yep.
Once again, if you're new to the show, we are playing a heads-up tournament. Teams, we've got Mo's team, which is 5 guys, versus Team Action. Mike's team there, also 5 guys. They did a preliminary, 5 matches to determine which team would have more chips for the finals match. And these guys are playing for $10,000.
Button here. Ed raised to 400, and Mike called.
And Mike's badly dominated here.
He is. Here comes the flop. Ace 8-5.
But once again, the cards don't mean that much.
Mike checks. See if Ed's going to bet. He's going to bet here again.
I tell you, Ed's an animal.
And Mike folds. Interesting email here from Nicholas Rainey on 2+. He emailed us at live@thebike.com. He says, you guys are smart enough. The other players in Ed's team don't want to teach Ed how to play well. It's, more money in the future.
I guess so. You know what, though? I mean, is Ed really doing that bad here?
Not really.
I mean, you can rip Ed all you want, but he's still in there.
Got another email here from Drew Currens. He says, funny show tonight. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. Also looking forward to Thanksgiving Day, 14 hours. What date is that exactly? Well, that
I actually don't know what date
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, what date is that? I mean, obviously I know it's Thursday, but what date is that?
I think Thanksgiving actually falls on a Saturday this year, Dave.
Does it? The 24th?
Yeah. Ed, all right, we're going to limp it around here.
Now, it's a $100, $200 blind structure, so it is a $400 pot.
Well, Mike has a pair here, king, 5, king. Mike's going to check.
Well, he's slow playing this.
Ed's going to bet.
Clear inducing a bluff here, because he's definitely going to call at least. Might even raise it.
And again, Mike's pretty much playing on his own as well.
Yeah, he's had Leo and Francisco offer some advice here and there.
And Mike is going to call, so now you got to figure what is he calling me with. Turns a jack.
Who knows? Mike.
Mike is checked again. See if Ed takes a card here.
Now the problem with Mike
I think Ed's talking Farsi with Mo there.
Mike is slow playing his hand. Problem is, aren't you vulnerable to overcards?
Absolutely.
And how do you know what Ed has here? Mike is in pure check in call mode, isn't he?
Yeah, and they check it down. Again, I think Ed is talking Farsi with Mo. Because I believe they're both Persian. And I think they're talking Farsi.
Well, Iranian.
Yeah.
Do you know Farsi?
No.
I've learned a little bit.
Have you?
Well, working at this casino for a while.
There's quite a population of Iranians in Southern California.
Yeah.
A lot.
They're smart.
Yeah.
It's warm here. And Mike folded. All the presses.
So Button moves over. Look at Joe.
Yeah, Joe's giving him a little dance there. I think he's rubbing up against him.
I think that Mo's Nuts should incur like a uniform penalty for Joe taking that shirt off.
Possibly.
$100 in chips.
Well, that's a good idea. We'll confiscate it after the show.
Ed is raised here.
We'll confiscate it and hit the bar.
Clubs. Looks like he's making it 600, and Mike's going to fold.
Well,
again, the blinds are 100, 200 right now, Dave. So.
Yeah, it's getting a little more significant now.
Yeah.
And as the blind structure
and this has been a good heads-up match.
What's the name of
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's really been great. I mean, to me, when you watch so much heads-up like World Poker Tour or ESPN and something like that, to me, that's such garbage. You know, I don't want to, like, just pat ourselves in the back, but when you watch that and you see, like, you see 3 or 4 hands. Ooh, how exciting is that? Here, we've gotten to see 100 hands, 150 hands.
Look at this. Mike has limped in on the button with an ace, and Ed is raised. And Mike is going to pull the limp raise all in, I believe. I think he's moved all in.
All in?
I think he's moved all in with ace-3. And again, that's a big risk, Dave. I mean, what if Ed had raised at something like pocket 8s or pocket 9s? But
well, then Mike gets called. I mean, I guess he's willing to gamble.
And he shows a 3. Shows a 3.
I mean, you know what Amir Vahidi says, to be a winner, to be alive, you've got to be willing to die. And it's the same thing here. If you want to win this game, you can't be afraid of losing.
Well, this time Ed has an ace. And it just goes limp here. King, Queen, 7.
Well,
Mike's
out
second pair.
And that's the reason I don't think you want to limp in with an ace, because you don't want to give some guy a free shot at hitting out flopping you.
And Mike has once again called Ed. Turns a
kind
jack.
of a familiar thing. He likes to do that when his hand's not that strong, but strong enough to call. It kind of induces the bluff.
But Ed's going to bet again. But it's not that much, Dave. It looks like 400, and Mike quickly calls.
Now Mike is susceptible to a 10 or an ace.
And the river's a 10. There it is. And now if you're Ed, you really push hard here.
Well, I think you've at least bet at least 1,000, maybe 1,500.
The pot's about $2,000. He's going to bet 1,000. And you're right. I mean, the thing with Mike is it seems like his style is, well, I'll check to induce a bluff, but Queen 3 is not the nuts on that flop. It just kept getting worse and worse for him.
Well, he's
right?
been doing that a lot with, even if he had a 7 on this hand, he'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
And he did earlier with bottom pair. You're just susceptible. You don't know what your opponent has.
You'd rather see maybe a check raise.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe check raise on the turn even.
Yeah.
You just don't know where your opponent's at. Does your opponent have nothing? Because right now you can't beat a 9, you can't beat an ace, you can't beat 2 pair, you can't beat a king.
Right.
And now you put yourself in a spot where, man, what does this guy have?
And he was betting the whole way. And remember, a couple hands ago, Ed actually checked the turn when he had nothing. This time he kept betting.
I mean, I'm all for checking to induce a bluff, but your hand's got to be strong enough to withstand it. You don't want to let your opponent get there.
I think Leo said you should call. And he's going to make the call. And Ed's going to take it down with the straight. Wow.
And Ed takes down.
Look at those guys shake their heads in the background there.
I mean, obviously, obviously Ed had to get lucky.
Yeah.
But didn't Mike let him get lucky?
Right. And now Ed's up about, 3-1 in chips, maybe? I mean, Mike's got all the yellows, but...
Yeah, I'm trying to see the stack there. I think he has, I want to say 5 or 6 stacks of purple. I think Mike's got about 3,400 in chips.
Well, Mike is going to raise here. He's got 7-8 offsuit. Now Ed's got 8 deuce.
So it's about 2-1 right now.
Okay.
How much more you got behind, sir?
2,600.
I call.
And Ed's going to call. Oh, man. I mean, what is Ed trying to hit here? Oh, he's got a club draw. Queen 4-4.
Well, that's one of the things he could hit. Well,
Let's see how he plays it.
maybe he's going to bet it straight out. Let's see.
Oh, I'm first.
Well, if Ed shows any strength, there's no way that Mike can call, right?
Well, Mike won't. Yeah, he can't call. He can only raise. But then you kind of wonder if Mike raises this. You go, okay, well, he doesn't have a pair that.
Well, Ed's going to bet here. He's going to bet 400. And Mike is going to move all in, and Ed might call here with the club draw.
Well, now you got to look at him.
And Ed is going to call.
And he's got him 2-1. Now Mike has the best hand here, but Ed needs a deuce
Or a club.
or a club.
Deuce or a
Or
club.
a queen to chop it.
Oh, now no club. Oh, it's a club. Wait a minute. The flush is good anyways.
Yes.
Flush is good anyways.
And Ed takes it down, and Ed wins it. Oh,
Wow.
Ed wins the
Ed's
championship.
the winner.
And Nose Nuts takes it down. In turn, actually killed Mike's hand.
Yeah.
'Cause they both had queen 8 with trip 4s.
Right.
And
that's
look at
it.
that.
That's it. And Ed's going to win 2,400, and the rest of the team is going to win 1,800.
And there he is. There's Mike Corporation Mike there.
And Mike said every time he called me, he had the worst hand. Wow.
So we see now. So Simon is going to win $1,800. Action Joe wins $1,800. Mo wins $1,800.
Right.
Brian Lee wins $1,800, and Ed wins $2,400.
You know, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do here for the next 45 minutes. Wouldn't it be entertaining if we had a heads-up match between Jason and Corporation Mike? I wonder if they'd be willing to do that. Jason and Corporation Mike?
Jason, you guys want to play heads up against each other?
And that would be really interesting, wouldn't it, Dave?
It would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I got to tell you, I mean, I really like Mike's play. I mean, over the last couple of months, I think he's been mixing it up, and I really find him very dangerous, and I like his play, so I don't want to criticize him too much. But his play in this game started getting a little bit predictable. I mean, to me, he'd almost, anytime he hit a pair where he didn't love his hand, but he liked it a little bit, he would check and call to induce a bluff. Anytime he pretty much had nothing, he would move all in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he only showed strength when he had nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if he was really, really strong, he'd just slow play his hand.
Well, the interesting thing about the last hand of the night, again, usually when you're looking for tells, it's not necessarily physical tells, but more betting patterns. I don't know if Ed did this intentionally, but sometimes when Ed would bet weak, he really was weak.
Right.
But he actually played that where he bet weak, so Mike thought I was going to move over the top, but Ed actually had a hand big enough where it was kind of like the fish, like a little bait. Like, I'm going to bet this. If you raise me, I'm going to call anyway. So.
Right, but in the end, I mean, you wonder, did Ed? I mean, Ed bet 400 there on that. Did he actually want to call? I mean, in the end, he only had 8 high. He had to catch a club.
That's true. But again, if he didn't know that Mike also had an 8, with 2 cards to come, if you've got a club draw and no pair against the guy without a draw and no pair, the guy with the draw is favored, even if you don't have a high card.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very close.
Right.
But in that case, obviously, it was pretty much even money, I want to say, because Ed actually, any deuce would have given it to him, any club would have given it to him, and if the board pairs or a 4 came out, they chop it up.
Yeah.
So if you were to punch that into some sort of calculator, I'm pretty sure it was pretty close to even.
So this is what we were talking about, the poker pads thing. If you check it out there on the website, you go to click on, I think it's upper right-hand corner. You buy it's basically a mouse pad, but it's real poker table felt.
Yeah.
And you can practice chip tricks on it and such.
And the cool thing about it is you can get, I believe they make them custom made, where you can have put on here whatever you want. So you want to put on there, some sort of motto for yourself, like, don't tilt.
Right.
Don't steam off money.
Right.
Whatever you might want to put, I'm sure they can custom them for you.
Yeah. That would be great. And again, I mean, we saw some earlier on, and again, maybe if we do this next week, Dave, we can extend the individual matches a little bit longer. But hey, I mean, we only got about 45 minutes left in the show. But it was very apparent that some of these guys really didn't know what they were doing, heads up, right?
Yeah, and there were a couple, right. I mean, Ali, obviously, and you don't want to hammer a guy because he obviously doesn't have that much experience playing No Limit Hold'em, heads up.
Right.
He obviously didn't really know what he was doing in that forum.
Yeah. But
I actually should get one of these things that says, don't play stupid. Don't be an idiot.
Well, I've been playing more and more, online poker. I try to put in about 10,000 hands per month, which isn't all that much, but it's for somebody who works a 40-hour job and is doing other things. That's what we do extracurricular with this show.
Right, of course.
It's about, I try to put in about 10 hours a week. But sometimes I feel like I would throw this thing out the window. That's the way that I act when I'm playing.
Well, it's better than throwing your mouse out the window, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I've read an article one time where Scott Fishman said that he went through the course of about 7 or 8 mouses and over the course of a summer.
Right. Yeah. We actually have a player here that plays predominantly online, has a big temper, and he actually said that he's gone through 2 keyboards and 1 monitor.
Yeah.
And that can get pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Once again, we were live at the bike, folks. David Duckman here with Bart Hansen, and you've been watching a No Limit Hold'em heads-up tournament. And one of the things I want to go for also is, obviously this is a great format where you have team versus team, but I'd like to push for we're going to have like an NCAA tournament-style heads-up tournament where you literally have 64 people enter the tournament, and you do heads-up matches. And we would show them on Live at the Bike, obviously. And you would get some of the great pros. I mean, Yoshida Kano might play. You'd get Tuan Lee in there, Tim Fan, all these guys. Against these guys as well, each putting up their own money.
Yeah.
Now, I know NBC had that heads-up.
Well, they had a heads-up tournament, yeah.
They had the heads-up tournament, which Phil Hellmuth won. But let's be honest, that was invitational. So, I mean, congratulations to Phil Hellmuth, but he's not playing against people. He's playing against an invitational tournament.
Right.
You know, who knows if he's actually the world champion heads-up player?
Right.
I mean, to me, the Live at the Bike heads-up championship would be the world champion. Anybody can
Well, the
enter.
funniest thing about that was supposedly they always invited the best players to come there, but they invited Jerry Buss, James Woods.
Right. They invited what was going to be the best TV, best
Right.
ratings.
Exactly.
And to me, in the end, unless you have some sort of a qualifying event to get into that, it's tough to say, oh, it's an invitational tournament.
Let's see if we can take a look at what's happening there on the table. Okay, so they're clearing some people out.
Yeah, and they're actually getting all the chips together because those are real money chips.
So I think that we're actually, Dave, what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple-minute break. Couple minutes, and then we got about half an hour left in the show.
Well, that's good, 'cause I've got to pee like a racehorse.
And then we will come back here with some form of poker here in a half an hour.
Yeah, we're looking at it. It looks like no limit hold'em, maybe
For
shorthanded.
half an hour, yeah.
Shorthanded play.
Shorthanded, no limit hold'em. So we're going to take a couple minutes here.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Just go on with what you're doing. Leave us on your computer, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
You'll get a little ambiance view here on the bike for a couple minutes.
Against Simon. Simon and Pablo. Okay. Wait, 500 or 1,000? 1,000? On a team, 5 people? No, 5 people. Just call me 1,000, I put my thing back. Yes. 5 with 5 people. You want to use the same floor mat, Mo? It's up to you guys, yeah. 1,000? Yeah. It's all in game, right?
What's your rounds, you guys? You want 10-minute rounds, 1 minute rounds? What do you guys want to do?
What is it?
To you guys, what kind of rounds do you want? You want 15-minute rounds, 5-minute rounds?
Oh, what do you want to play? Like hand in hand? 15-minute round is fine. 15 minutes. Forward gets more chips.
You guys want to start off with 5 and 10?
Line?
No, the rounds.
Oh, round.
15 minutes, we start 5 10.
Okay. Sir, like a no limit game? Or?
Yeah, no limit.
You can leave anytime you want.
Huh?
You can leave anytime you
No,
want.
it's freeze house. Freeze house, like a tournament.
All right, hang on.
So one of us will
Yeah,
2,000.
yeah, one of them.
Okay. Let's start 25.50 because
25.50?
one of the white chips.
Alright, that's fine.
No, this is. No, that was. Yeah, I gave 100 more to someone. Instead of 18, I gave it 9. You want to put here?
What blinds you guys want to start off with?
25.50.
25-50?
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta check the camera.
Check. Pardon? Check. Evelyn? Yes, what was that? Okay. Can you hang on 1 minute? Yeah. So you guys are starting 25.50?
Yeah. It's gonna be 10 minutes.
You guys want to start with this format? Every 15 minutes, start with 25.50?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
How long left here?
Well, actually, they altered the price. So
Not
wait.
more.
Correct. You want to bring a format of it?
So how do you divide the money?
Okay.
Did you get yours as well? I didn't get my money yet. Yeah.
Are you sure, Mo?
No, I gave 2,500 instead of 2,400.
Okay. Go ahead,
I
Dave.
put 400 for here to drop it.
So I'm getting word
Yeah,
that we're
we're
actually
back.
going to get. Yeah, we're back here. We're playing heads up, no limit hold'em here.
Yep.
Each player is bought in for $1,000. This is a cash game now, and we've got Simon versus Avo.
Yep. Now we're going to start off. So we're playing Simon versus Avo, $1,000, and we're playing
kind of a freeze-out type thing.
15-minute rounds, is it, or 20-minute round?
And they're going to start the blinds at 25.50. Now this should go really quick. I mean, the blinds at 25.50. They only have 1,000 chips.
And we're playing 15-minute rounds.
So then this is pretty much. I mean, if you want to get the equivalent, you see those heads-up sit and goes.
Right.
This is pretty much a heads-up sit and go. Now, the blinds are starting at 25.50.
Simon raised here with King 7 of diamonds on the button. Now Avo called with King Deuce. And look at this. Simon's got top pair.
Yeah, it's a great flop for Simon.
He's going to bet.
Plus he's got backdoor. He's got backdoor diamonds. Avo's got nothing.
He's going to bet 200 here. Now Avo's going to fold.
Now this thing actually could be over in like 15, 20 minutes. I mean, they don't have that much money.
Yep.
As compared to the blind structure.
Yep.
And once again, this is really exciting. This is live, unedited, unscripted, heads up, no limit hold'em, folks.
Yep.
And they're playing for $1,000 each. Actually, playing for $2,000, $1,000 each.
Flop comes Jack 9-5 here. It looks like Avo's got a pair, and he's going to bet. And he's going to take it down. We got a couple more emails here. Zip None says, hello from the Netherlands. I really enjoy your show. Would like to know if there are more shows broadcasted on European times, because I haven't seen a show in daylight for a while. Well, and that's Simon Van Ree. Simon, you can sign up for the archives and you can watch every show at your leisure.
Yeah.
Because they're updated about 4 or 5 hours after the show is over.
And the archives are what now? How much are they? $30, $40?
$14.95 a month. Only
what?
$14.95 a month. Gets
Still only $14.95 a month.
All of the saved action.
Man.
Now look at this. Avo did not raise pre-flop with an ace, and he's hit an ace.
Yeah. Now Simon's got nothing though.
And look at this. He's just going to check call here. He's just going to check call.
Now to me, this is a different kind of slow play because you've got top pair. It's different than having a 5,
Avo
which is what Mike was doing.
again, and now Simon's picked up a pair.
Well, now he doesn't need to bet.
Well, he's going to bet. He's going to bet 250 again. Avo did not raise this pre-flop.
And he's going to move all in, I think.
Well, let's see.
Well, he looked like he was going to. Now he's thinking about it.
Again, you can sign up for the archives by clicking on the archives banner at liveatthebike.com.
So we're talking, I mean, at this point, we probably have 1,600 hours of content, and Avo moves all in.
Yep, he's going to move all in with the ace-4. And it's 500 there, so that's half of the stack.
And this pot is about, what, $1,400 now?
Yeah, yeah.
Simon throws his hand away, which obviously he needs to do.
And he does. He's going to throw it away.
He's going to be really short stacked now. He's only got about, I want to say, 500 left, right?
Yeah. So again, it used to be, Dave, too, also the archives were delayed by a few days, but now they're really good about 4 or 5 hours after the show. Get another email from Larry Gertowski. He says, I'm enjoying the show here in Ann Arbor. But also, don't forget that our international viewers might not know what Thanksgiving Day is.
That's a great point,
that's
actually.
A great point.
It's funny, I've actually been in England on Thanksgiving, and I've kind of like wondered, naively wondered, I go, well, what is everybody doing for Thanksgiving? And I'm going, oh, wait a second. You know, and obviously my wife and her family kind of look at me like I'm a complete moron.
Simon just moved in there with pocket 3s, and
takes it down.
He took it down. There it is. So again, tomorrow night's going to be the limit night, either 6, 12, 8, 16, 20, 40, 30, 60, whatever we can get on there. And we're going to see a couple limps. King 5 against 10-5.
Well, we got Queen 7-6 out there, a couple diamonds.
Check, check. Turns a king. Now Simon has a pair. Avo's going to check again. And Simon checks again. And the river's a 9. And now Simon's going to bet. Going to bet 75.
And Avo doesn't have, he has 10 high.
You got to think that Simon was checking to induce a bluff. And has Simon played this hand where Avo's going to check raise bluff? No.
He thought about it. You know, he thought about it there. Once again, we have probably 1,500 hours of content on the archives, and obviously most of it is in a full ring game.
Yeah.
But this really offers an exciting twist to it all, where you actually can see, we can actually get a couple hours of heads-up play. And we're going to try to keep this as a regular thing every once in a while.
Limp here, and again, and look at this, Simon has an ace. And it looks like Avo's got pocket sixes.
Oh, wow.
And Avo flop quads. Heads up.
Wow.
Turn to 4.
Well, let's see if an ace falls.
Check. Rivers an 8. Wow. And now, so both players were playing it slow pre-flop, Dave.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes the best way to get money on that, though, Simon might have.
And Simon's going to make the call with ace high.
Yeah.
And Avo's got 4 sixes.
I was going to say, you know, if Avo actually bets the flop,
Yeah.
Simon might have called or even raised him because when the board is paired,
Right.
ace high is often good heads up. It's that much more unlikely that Avo would have a six
You can
or a
almost
jack.
play it where if you're in position, bet the flop and then maybe check behind on
Exactly.
the turn, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You bet the flop, you get called, then you check once.
Right.
Then see if he takes a shot at it on the river.
Limped here again. Ace King 3. Avo's a pretty big leader right now. Turns a 7, gives Avo a pair. Check again, and the river's a king. And Avo checks again.
Well, Simon's got the best hand here with queen high.
Well, actually, Avo's got a pair of 7s. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
He
I'm sorry.
never
I'm
bet
sorry.
it.
I didn't even see that.
Never bet the turn, didn't bet the river.
If you have any questions or comments, please email us at live@thebike.com. Let us know what you think of the heads-up format.
And obviously, it is more fun to watch a player like Mike, Corporation Mike, play heads up because he doesn't necessarily play it so slow like it seems like Avo is right now.
Right.
You know, check to induce a bluff, check to induce a bluff. You know.
Well, you know, Mike and Ed there. I mean, the blinds were say 25-50 or 50-100, and they were just moving it around.
Avo moves all in with king high here, and he's going to take it down.
I mean, the blinds are right now only 25-50. They're going to move up in a second.
Yeah.
But remember, these guys only have 1,000 chips. I mean, that's pretty high blind structure.
Yeah.
You know, this is pretty much any time that both players have a big hand, all the money's going to go in.
Now look at this. Simon's got queen 10 here. Is that good enough to push here? He's going to raise a little bit. Yeah, it's 75.
I definitely like the raise there. Queen 10 on the button. I mean, you'd almost raise if everybody folded to you in a full ring game and you had queen 10 on the button. You'd probably raise there, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, you got to kind of look at it the same way. Where everybody's folded to him, theoretically. He's on the button with only one blind. I mean, you could almost raise blind on the button in this game.
Like I said, we did see a lot of limping. I think that's one of the things, a little bit of an inexperience, Dave. We saw a lot of limping or just completing on the button.
Oh,
But then you bring it up, though, too. The blind structure was strange in the fact that the small blind was only one chip less, so it's almost like you're going to limp in with anything anyways, right?
Right.
I think we'll probably change that for next time, too. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? 75, 100 blinds.
Yeah, well, Mo is trying to come up with a blind structure that would inherently keep the action moving.
Look at this. We've got 2 pocket pairs. Simon moved in with pocket 5s, and Avo's got pocket 7s.
And Simon's almost dead here.
So Avo's in great shape. Look at this. Simon flops a full house.
What do I know?
Turns a king, and the river's a 7.
Wow.
And Avo rivers it at the end.
And that's
Holy
it. Avo takes it down.
Smokes.
Avo wins the tournament.
That's
there.
unbelievable.
And just like that, I think about 17 minutes took Avo to win
Yeah.
$1,000.
And I don't know if Simon might want to do a rematch here, Dave.
Well, you know when you're playing the sit and goes,
Yeah.
you can click the button. Do you want to play a rematch?
Yeah.
And I think he just clicked the button. Yes.
All right, so we're going to cover it then, too.
And Avo actually called them all in with the 7s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, heads up. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Pre-flop? He didn't have that many chips.
Right, and that was the thing. Sometimes you don't want to call with 7s because you figure you're 50-50 maybe.
Right.
At best. And you might be, but in that case, it was what a great turn of events.
So they're playing here again. Same structure, 15-minute rounds. 25-50 in the blinds. Ace, deuce, queen here was just limped around.
Avo's up $1,000 already for the night. Actually, the funny thing is, Avo was on the.
Avo was on the losing side.
Yeah, he
so
was
he's
on
even.
Yeah, exactly. He was on team action.
Yeah.
So he's now even for the night. Now, funny thing is that Simon was on the winning team, so he's actually still up. I want to say $800 for the night. Right? No, actually, I'm sorry.
No, he's down about 200.
Yeah, he's down 200. I apologize. He won 800 in that one.
Yeah.
So he's down 200 for the night. If anybody from the IRS is listening.
So we're heads up here, doing a heads up night. Live at the bike. Again, you can watch us on Thanksgiving for 14 hours straight, starting at noontime Pacific time. Avo's got pocket kings.
14 hours, man. My voice is going to be sore.
Going to raise it up to 175, and Simon's going to give him action, Dave.
Uh-oh.
And Simon's in big trouble here.
Simon hits a pair here. He might get in trouble. He hits top pair.
Here we go to the flop. Well, he's got, what was it, 10, 10, 7.
He's got a gut shot.
Gut shot to the 8. Have you checked this once if you're Avo? Could you
know what?
possibly?
You might want to, just because the only thing I'm thinking here is if the guy has a 10, he's got me beat. The problem is, though, you might get in trouble if the guy's got some sort of gut
Simon
shot.
bets. He bets 150.
Wow. Well, it's an interesting play. Some tough players will bet the 10 straight into a razor.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to wonder. Is this guy betting a... Do you just smooth call with Avo? If you're Avo here? See what the guy does on the turn?
He's just going to call. Well, Simon needs an 8 here. And the turn's an 8.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And Avo might get in trouble now.
Oh, definitely. If you're Simon now, do you check it once?
Why not make another little weak bet? He's got the gut shot straight. I think Avo might go bust on this hand. And Simon's going to bet again. He's going to bet 300.
And he's played it odd if he has a 10. You know, Avo's got to be something going, would he bet a 10 right into me? Now, some really tricky players will bet their 10 right into Simon. Well, into a razor, I'm sorry.
And it doesn't look like Avo. And look at this. He's going to push the rest in, and Simon's got him. Now, Avo would need a king here on the river to win.
Or a 10.
And the river is an ace. King or 10, you're right. And it doesn't come. Simon made the gut shot on the turn. Wow.
And is that all? Did Simon actually cover?
No, I think Avo has some chips left.
He's got maybe 100 chips, $100 left here.
Yeah.
So Simon's got him about 19-1 out chipped. Now, this is one of those cases where you've got him so badly beat. I mean, Avo would have to double up like 4 times in a row.
Right.
To get back in the match. Blinds are 25-50, so pretty much this is going to be an all-in again, I'd imagine.
Looks like we can see Avo's got...
He folded.
Wow, he folded. He had 7-8. Huh.
Wow. He just doesn't want to... He didn't want to double him up. Blinds are only 25-50 here, but that's surprising.
Yeah, that is really surprising. You would think he'd pretty much go in with any two... I mean,
For 75 chips, why not?
7-8, yeah.
And you got the guy 19-1. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I honestly got to be honest. I don't have 100... I don't have that much heads-up experience.
Well, now Avo's going to move all in, and we don't know what Avo has, but we know that Queen Jack is over there, seat 4. Avo has Ace 8. It's Ace 8 against Queen Jack. The turn is a 7, so seat 1's still in the lead with Ace 8. And the river is a 10, and Ace High is going to be good there.
Yeah, Avo doubles up there. And Avo's now got, I want to say, about 300 in chips. Now, this is the point where you don't want to blindly double them up. 250 he's got.
Buttons over there to Simon.
I gotta tell you, I do love the sit and goes when you're playing online.
Yeah.
Those heads up sit and goes, a lot of fun.
Simon's gonna race. He's got King 9, pretty good hand. Heads up, makes it 250 to go. And Avo's gonna call. I mean, he's all in. Would you pick a better hand there to make that move with, to make the call all in when you're that short? Deuce 4-6 here. No help for Avo. King High is still good. Turns a 3. Couple cards here for the chop, and the river's a king.
Yep.
Simon's gonna win it.
Simon takes it down. Obviously didn't need the pair. His King High was good already.
Yep.
But
and are they going to do a third one here?
Just give me my 1,000 back.
One more?
And it's 1-1.
1-1. I guess we'll do the third one, and that will probably end the night for us, Dave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting night. I got to tell you, if you're in the 2+2 form here, and you're in that heads up and short-handed form, how often do you actually get to watch live heads up play?
Yeah. And this is really going fast. These guys are 15-minute rounds.
Well, I said the blinds are 25-50. I mean, the guy
Yeah.
only have 1,000 chips.
Yeah.
Interesting night tonight, I must say.
Yeah.
That preliminary round obviously was almost a little silly to watch at times.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it, but I got to tell you though, that last round lasted like a long time.
Well, that's
Final round.
we knew it would. I mean, when they had a lot of chips, and
Yeah.
they start really playing poker. But we had to obviously push the preliminary round along to make sure we had enough time for the finals.
Right. And again, there wasn't as much advice as I thought that would, be really given there.
Yeah, I guess Ed didn't need the advice.
Yeah.
Ed took it home anyway.
Mike really kind of got sucked out on though, because I mean,
Couple
Ed was,
times, yeah. But there are a couple times where he let himself get. I mean, there were the one time where Ed made the straight on the river.
Yeah.
You know, I know Mike got sucked out on, but did he let himself get sucked out on?
Ace, Jack, 6 here. Jack on the turn. River is a jack. And Avo there is good with queen high. Button's going to move over there to Avo.
And the one thing that's exciting about this is rarely can you go to a casino and actually play heads up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, rarely does a casino actually want to give a full table for only 2 players. But we're in a unique situation where we can do that.
We have our own table. And now we got a raise here by Simon. I believe he's out of position with 4-5 of hearts, and Avo calls a 7-9. So here we go to the flop. Well, 4-6-9. Well,
wow.
Avo's got top here, and Simon's got a pair.
Yeah, they both have, and Simon's got backdoor hearts.
Simon was the pre-flop raiser, and he's going to bet.
Wow.
400. Wow, 400.
I mean, that almost I mean, does that commit you? Now, if Avo moves all in like he does, are you committed? I mean, more than half your money's in the pot, and he is.
And he's going to make the call. He's a gambler, folks.
Oh, these guys just gambling.
He's a gambler.
And Avo's in good shape here.
Yeah, here we go to the turn. The turn's a queen. Simon's got hearts now. He's got a heart draw, 4-5 or heart, and the river's a queen, and Avo's going to take it down. There it is.
And I think that's going to do it for us.
Yes, that is going to
do it.
do it for us.
Well, we get 3 heads-up matches at the end there.
Yep.
Avo takes him 2-1.
Yep. And, well, that was a pretty entertaining experimental night that we had tonight, Dave.
Really fun.
Obviously, we can expand on this and make, corrections and, make it a little bit smoother. But I think that we could dedicate a night or 2 a month to this type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think it's great. A lot of people are always wondering how to play heads up. They don't get to see it that often. They don't get to play it that often.
Yeah.
Well, here we're offering it to them.
Right, absolutely. So tomorrow night's going to be our limit night again, probably 6-12, 8-16, 20-40, or 30-60 if we're lucky. And, again, exciting news about Thanksgiving, a 14-hour live at the bike marathon, and we'll get, hopefully, those episodes up on the website as to what we're going to replay.
So after you finish your turkey and you're sick of your family, turn on Live at the Bike.
Yeah, that's right. So for David Tuckman and everyone here in the booth, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.